God, it's so annoying. Even if I try not to show reactions, my face always shows reactions whenever I talk. And I know I can see when Julian's actually watching the camera because he's just like. I'm not being a creep at all. You can't see me.
As soon as I send a joke, I pan over. I'm like, who's laughing?
Okay. Really, every time we join into Discord with like a new, like you disconnect your camera and you rejoin back in, it just puts you in a new slot. So that's a pain. That I'll have to deal with later, I guess. But I'll just move the tokens around and fix that real quick. And start with an intro. And just move this over here. That should be good. Cool. Every time I open Docs, it opens the Chris Fraud notes. It's just like it remembers that from those down the years, yeah. So every time we get a little...
when you opened... Yeah, it's like, hey, remember when you opened this file up every Thursday for over a year?
Yeah.
We remember.
So now just...
Here you go.
Yeah. Oh, you want to run your cotton session? Too bad. This is Curse of Strahd now. We've decided.
This is Curse of Strahd.
Yeah.
There's also a monopoly on horses now.
It might as well be. It's crazy outside right now. Everybody's in Ottawa knows what I'm talking about. Like, you look outside and it's like midday, but it doesn't feel like it. All the smog in the sky, it's crazy.
That's how it was here today, too.
Oh.
My work, we have the warning and everything, but our receiving decided to leave the doors way open. So I'm in the back welding area by tanks, directly down from our receiving door. So all that smog was quite literally just flowing into my welding, and I'm just like coughing, and everybody's like, "Do you have COVID?" I'm like, "No, I'm coughing because of the fucking smog."
No, I'm gonna start developing lung cancer. What's new with you?
Yeah, it was bad.
We are driving back into Ottawa because I'm ridiculous and I live in the city, but I work rurally. I drive 45 minutes out of town to go to work. Anyway, on my way back in today, it was almost like fog at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was. I work in Ottawa South, so like 10 minutes from Barhaven, basically, not even. And it was, you walk outside, it was actually tricky to breathe. Just a little bit.
And now I started my stream, so now it's another slot in the camera slot, so now everything's out of place again. So I'm just gonna not have tokens this session, I'm just gonna have camera feeds. Because otherwise it's gonna be a nightmare for me to fix every time. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna crop it real quick and we'll be good to go. Batman.
I was gonna message that dude who we try to get in the game with, but...
Which one?
I did.
To see if he's like... Okay,
yeah, to see like, hey, how's that campaign going? You guys... Did anyone drop out?
Wouldn't bother, to be honest.
I'm not going to.
Like, it's not worth it.
I want to message him and be like, hey, what's up, fuckface?
Live and let live.
When you had...
Yeah, remember when you had like a stable player base ready to go and play with? Yeah. Well, it is what it is. People made the choices.
Never forgive them.
Never forgive, never forget. Alright, but seriously though.
Those are my famous last words.
I think it should be good now. Session 33, guys? It's been a while. It's been a while.
We're only still in Ankara.
It's been a while since I heard the words.
Picking up from where we last left off, right into it. Music is streaming, by the way. We find ourselves in the moonlit streets of Ankara, having captured one of the 3 thieves that attempted to steal back the ruidium you found and that jewel of 3 prayers of yours. Now, the hands of Ord guard await for you to present forth testimony and evidence in order to press charges against Galsariad. You all being sort of the prime witnesses to the crime. Over RP chat, I tried to engage this a little bit, but I didn't want to jump too ahead in our story, in our plot. So we did have some people try and attempt at a lie, essentially. Lying, your initial testimony was to hide the truth and claim that Galsariad aimed to steal Nia's ring of protection. A more minor crime to what really happened. A crime that would nonetheless earn him several days of incarceration within the Scarlet Dungeons of the Cerulean Palace, as well as a hefty fine. Of course, the group is yet to discuss things, if you so wish, because the final verdict is yet to be passed. As you watch the guards secure a shackled Galsariad into the sort of wayside of the street, you watch a large blue flame wreathed construct of metal and magic sort of collar Galsariad by the neck, and as it sort of turns its head to look at you, it casts this like cone of light toward you. Nia, you I would imagine still have the orb in your midst, that light orb.
Yeah, my drip flow.
Yeah, as soon as that light sort of guides its way toward it, the orb just drops back into your palm. No longer a light lit or anything. Similarly, those of you who have like magic items upon you kind of feel your magic sort of ebb away as this construct looks towards you and toward the scene before us. You have a few lingering moments to absorb the weight of the situation and consequences of tonight's decisions. So, Fate's Fortune, what would you like to do?
We should get that drip globe fixed sometime.
You should. I have enough money left to fix it though. I literally have only 12 gold left.
Well, goddamn.
So, these the guards are here, right? So we're all within ear. They are within earshot of us at this point.
Yes.
Effectively.
Yes. However you wish. This is more, I'm just setting a scene so you guys have something to look at. If you want to step away, you can step away. If they're not talking to you, there are collected testimonies and witness records from those people who were like out looking into the streets from their windows and such, whoever's awake at this late hour.
I assume that Julian, you still have that connection open. Trying not to incriminate us or Galsariad, I would use that. And Julian, can you relay to everybody? I don't think that we should turn in Galsariad. I really believe if these Maroon 6 are our friends, something's wrong with them, and we should do what we can do to help them, not just turn our backs to them. I mean, if nobody objects, we should just...
I think they've crossed a line. I don't know if we can really call them our friends anymore until they do something to amend what they've done to us.
I agree somewhere in the middle.
I-
Kind of like between. They're our friends, and from what we've gathered already from Galsariad, there has been some manipulation, but at the same time, like Julian said, and also from what Galsariad said, they're literally powers that even if we approach them to try and figure out what's wrong and change their mind or figure out how or why they're being manipulated, there are powers that will likely prevent them from really giving us any useful information that could help them or us.
I feel like the decision that I wanted to make is already a decent enough of a middle ground. It puts them away for 10 days and gives them a fine. They're not going to be executed, they're not going to be put away.
Lines were crossed. I agree. But something's wrong with them. If one of us was under some sort of influence, would you hold that against us?
I mean, can we really... The only thing we know for certain is that they're bounded by some kind of contract to not tell us, like, the secrets of the consortium or the Veil or whoever they're working with. But we don't know if they're actually being manipulated by magic. It sounds like they kind of made a decision for themselves. Sounds
Ju-
like they've had these feelings that were festering over time that have eventually boiled
Yeah,
over.
it's not just me, is it? Julian, we hear
Yeah,
what
no,
you're
it's-
saying. I think you bought a new mic, right?
Yeah.
You and I will have to sit sometime. I'll ask that you speak a little bit closer to it and maybe turn your gain up on Discord because as it stands, it's oscillating. And my mic used to do that. It's oscillating in volume to the point where it sounds like you're stepping away from your mic back and forth like this. And that's to do with your gain, so turn that way up. And worst case scenario, we can turn you down a little bit, but it's better to have your gain up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. But we heard what you said, yeah.
Yeah. The only way we'd really be able to help them is by finding the one who's casted this spell on them. That's fucking long ways of trying to find that person and having to infiltrate that deep. It's hard to say. But for me, he stole from the library. And such a thing, there's bands of people out there, such as people who I have had to fend off in the past, like the Cerberus Assembly in Exandria. Excuse me, not Exandria, Zorhas in the Empire. Who only want to gain as much knowledge and everything just to profit themselves. We all truly want the same thing, the Maroon Six too. But they just want to do it in a more brutish way, with violence and not
Really?
understanding the outcomes.
I think the Maroon
But-
6 is mostly just looking for fame and glory.
But in doing so, they still want to achieve the goal by seeing where Elixion is. They witnessed the same vision that we had in the grotto, so for them it's an opportunity. We both seek the same thing by understanding what's at the end of this tunnel, but we're going about it in completely different ways, and I objectify to their way. Unless we can find out and gain information on who cast this spell and strike them down, or find another way of relieving them of this spell,
Would you
it's
want to
not
kill
too
them?
much. I'm not saying kill, but I'm saying incapacitate or find a way for them to break it.
Would incapacitating them work to break the spell? Surely this person sleeps every once in a while. It doesn't seem like a spell breaks when they're unconscious. Something like that.
I don't have the simplest way of knowing that how this spell works. So they either have to break it willingly, or they need to find another means. We need to find a magical means to break it, like how you would a curse or something. But unless he would tell us, unless Galsariad tells us that he did not willingly take on this role and this burden, well, then they've made their choice.
He already admitted to it. It was his plan.
No, I'm saying for joining the Vermilion and then like whatever they have to agree to. Like, did they get like a fast one pulled on them saying like, hey, you want to join the Vermilion? Okay, cool. Here, come to this ceremony. And then puts the spell on. Be like, okay, cool. You guys are all under our control now. They're just like, oh, fuck. Not the way we wanted that to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we don't know what happened to them. Things started
Don't.
to change after they joined the dream. And as Zeno's talking, he's becoming more and more tired, drawn out words, getting really exhausted. But going back into it, something happened to them, and it wouldn't be right to just not do everything we can do. Yes, lines were crossed, but
Well,
did they not save Naya's life? Does that count for nothing? What about all the
you
deeds they
saved
did
their
right?
lives also.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
The thing is,
Some-
though,
I
it
think-
wasn't...
Something is wrong
Oh, go
with
ahead.
them. We should do what we can. I would expect you guys to do the same for me. If something was wrong.
I think we're sort of jumping to. I think we're making a lot of assumptions because we don't want to admit to them to ourselves. Like, that they did this of their own free will, that they decided they wanted to steal from us. We don't
Before
really
we-
know for certain if they actually are, if their decisions are being influenced by magic or mind control or anything like that. All we know for certain was that it was Galsariad's plan to steal from us, that he convinced the rest of them to go along with it.
He didn't
I
convince
think-
everybody.
Did
Go ahead.
Ryan, did you tell us about your encounter with Irving? Did you tell us it was him?
Hasn't said, well, you and Melina know it was him, but Riot has said nothing about it yet.
Okay.
Riot is not going to say it near the guards because that also implicates somebody else.
Okay.
We I think 10 days of jail time and like a couple thousand gold in fines is enough of a middle ground where it's like we're sort of slapping them back for trying to steal from us, but this isn't like a permanent thing. You know, he's not being put away for life, he's not being executed. If they wanted to make amends after this, they can still.
Why do you want that retribution? Why do you seek that? Why is that important to you? We came out on
mean-
top.
They still tried to steal from us still. They still betrayed our friendship. I mean, do you really want to just not do anything about it?
So this entire
Yes.
time that Julian is speaking, Riot is just staring at him with a, come on, really? Because, like, I'm pretty sure Julian knows what Riot is thinking and going to say to him once they've left the
I've
vicinity.
never done anything to you guys.
And no, I agree. We should do something. It warrants action, just not this action. That's where I stand.
So you want to try and convince the guards to not arrest him?
I want to say that we are not pressing charges. We resolved our differences.
What do we gain, though? We let them loose. Who's to say that they may not try it again or come back in full force? They know where we are. They have the ability to scry. It's just
What do-
simply a slap on the wrist.
What do we gain? A chance to restore our friendship, to help them. What do we gain by sending them to jail? That only further creates that divide.
They're the ones who created the divide. And it feels like you're sort of coming up for excuses with them without knowing for certain.
Riot's just going to shake his head to Julian on that comment. They're not the first ones that crossed the line.
What did we do to them?
Riot just looks at him and be like, remember what we talked about in the room? My findings?
Refresh all our memory.
Please.
I honestly don't.
All right. So he's trying to say it subtly, so nobody else will say it. But he was basically talking about the ruidium and the what's it called? Yeah, the ruidium and the suit he stole.
That wasn't from the Maroon 6. And that was you.
One's actions incorporates the entire group.
Fair. But still, it wasn't the Maroon 6. We never
also
betrayed
did
our
it
friend.
back.
It was
About
a
it.
stranger. It was a stranger.
It wasn't a stranger. It was somebody
Yes, it
they
was.
knew. Right. I'm
Someone
just going
they
to
knew?
remind the group that Riot did tell everybody that he took Aneem's pendant and he did put it back.
Mm-hmm.
Someone
Just
they
so the
knew.
other
It's
group-
not them. It's not them.
Well, if you think about it, if somebody hurts Prolix or something like that, it probably does. Why can't it be the same for them? We know that Neem's been working with them. Maybe this whole issue started because of my lure to shiny things. It's possible. But yes, it doesn't mean that it should be a tit for tat, but also
There was some Olympic level mental gymnastics going on here to excuse them of fault in this.
but it's not too far to seem unwarranted though.
But
I
you
mean,
wanna- I want to bring up, though, I want to say that when we were in the shrine at the very end of Betrayer's Rise, it was Galsariad who was goading Ao to take it from us, that's what they wanted. This has kind of been in the works, and this feeling, this animosity towards us for quite some time. Even in Jiga, when we were being rivals in the fair, it's just starting to fester, and then having the teachings and the mentoring of, an organization that seems to be a little bit more, do I want to say zealot-like, or, doing whatever it takes to get such a thing, to be so reckless, can only feed into that a little bit more. I
To be
think,
honest, sorry.
well, I was going to say, I think the middle ground is with jail time, and it gives us 10 days to breathe. But I'm willing to hear out a possible cause that maybe that this is not so much they're doing, and that somehow they've been coerced into it. It's not something so far out of the realm. But if we were to find evidence, and if we were to kind of be able to prove that they were under this, and if they're willing to relinquish their ties to the Vermilion, then they should be absolved of it.
You
We had the same thing
want-
happen to us. We got caught with documents in fucking Jigao, but then we atoned for it. Possible to happen here as well.
Well,
You
Nia
really
would
want
just
to-
nod her head and be like, agreed, and really, obviously with all of that, centered on Nia for that specific example, but just kind of it hitting home with what Nia had said earlier with regards to she wants to think the best of the Maroon Six, but she doesn't honestly think that in this exact moment there is anything that they can really do to exempt them from at least some level of punishment. But if there's something that they could do, that the group can do to at least avoid life sentencing or death sentencing, then she's definitely all for that.
I feel like what I'm proposing is already like enough of a final act of kindness, because if we told the guards that what they were trying to steal from us was like a 100,000 gold amulet, like he might be put away for life if not executed. Like that's like a never forgiving punishment. But saying that he's still like a magic ring in the bag of holding, so he's put away for like 10 days and a couple thousand gold, like I feel like that's enough of like a minor punishment where it's like he's getting slapped on the wrist for trying, but it's not like a permanent thing that's gonna ruin his life.
I feel like we're kind of at about 3-2, because to what I can see, Melina, Nia, and Julian are like do a minor like downplay it, but he still goes to jail, whereas Riot and Zeno are kind of like, no, we should drop it. Right?
I've made my choices this night. You guys can make this one. But what I'm meaning is Galsariad has always thought all of us were nits compared to Melina. And if you think about it, his only true friendship is to Melina. He has thought I've been a complete moron this entire time, and to be fair, I haven't really given him too much of a reason not to, but if you decide this, the repercussions throughout the rest of the group could be worse. I mean, he tried to take a bag of holding in your ring. We got the bag of holding and the ring back. So maybe this would be a tap on the wrist, but again, I know he's crossed lines before, but then again, who's saying that we might have not been speaking the complete truth to him from time to time, and he probably caught up on that. He's not an idiot. He might be a little full of his britches. He should probably empty out some of that little snobbiness. He said that loud enough for Galsariad to hear. But he has a want for knowledge. And to be fair, from the beginning, he's wanted to share, or he was always wanted to look at the item we have, the items we gather. Yet, we don't really respond to that. So his only way to find out knowledge is to resort to petty theft. And to be honest, while it hurts, there's far worse things they could have done. We resulted to fighting thieves, which is in our right because they're taking our items, our stuff. But who threw the first blow? Was it us or was it them?
We gave Galsariad the opportunity to research the jewel, even enough time to even attune to it if he so chose, and he didn't.
That was one moment.
What's the first blow you're alluding to?
Who attacked first? in the night and everything that transpired? Who did the first true attack?
Well, entangle's not an attack. It's a field spell to get them to stay. It's not an
Are we gonna
attack.
Even
It
Even
if
if
doesn't
it
do
was
any
by the-
damage. It just ensnares them because we want it to be like, yo, what are you doing?
Who did the first damaging attack?
It doesn't matter who it struck first. Who the thing is that they went against social norms.
Stole?
They went to go steal from us. You broke every
How is that not different than what we've done?
axiology.
What did we do to that?
Did we not? Riot just explained to you, and now you're sensing a lot of frustration and some anger here. But Riot, as a monkey, retcon,
Riot is going to put a
As
hand
a
over
monkey.
Ghetto's mouth really quickly and literally say to his ear,
stole.
"You say something like that, I'm going to go to jail." Shush.
We're talking through. I assume that we were talking.
No, like
That's-
if you look
No,
at the
no,
map,
I'm
they're like
speaking out loud.
literally, they can hear us. They're within 30 feet of us.
You guys stepped away to talk amongst each other.
Oh,
Theater
oh
of
my
the mind,
God,
guys.
okay.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I looked at the map and we're 30 feet there, so I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to go to jail.
You want us to
The
go
point
stand
is-
over here? We
No,
can go
yeah.
stand
Picking-
over here.
Yeah, there you go. So picking that back up, Riot stole things from the beginning. Are you gonna send him to jail? You gonna turn him
It's
in?
not- It's not just about stealing.
Does
It'd be
it
one
does it
thing if
only
it
work
was-
when it's against you?
We know that they stole from the allegiance of Alsei, right? We've heard
No, you
description.
don't know that.
We're
We
pretty
know it
certain
was
that they
Irvin.
did. We're pretty
We
certain
have-
that we did, but we didn't report. We didn't report them when they did that. You know, that was like kind of their business. But when they're stealing from us, and it's like we have a history between each other, like we were supposed to be friends. This is like now it's like a personal betrayal. It's not just about stealing anymore.
And when did that start?
They betrayed us first. We didn't do anything.
Yeah,
to them.
when did the betrayal start?
Who stole
I'm
first?
asking. No, I'm not talking who did what. I'm not saying who threw the first punch. I'm asking Julian, who, excuse me, when did the betrayal start? When we arrived
When
here
they
in
tried to steal
Oncarel?
from us. When they tried to steal from us just tonight.
So after they've been in cahoots with the consortium,
Yeah.
after they've been exposed to Ruidium, and I'm saying that I think all of that is influencing them in a negative way. They are not of sound mind.
Maybe. I'm not suggesting we put him away for life or have him executed, even though he tried to steal 100,000 gold like relic from us. It's saying like put him away, like put him away for 10 days and he has a fine. Like it's not a huge deal. Why can't we
It's
just
not a
give him,
huge
like, this
deal.
slap?
Why do you want it?
I still think it's important to. I still feel betrayed, even if he was talked into it by like evil whispers into his ear. I still think I'm still hurt by this betrayal. I'm still angry that they even tried to steal from us. I still want there to be some kind of slap on the wrist as a result.
Actions have
Even if it's not
consequences.
something permanent, and I don't want it to be permanent because I still like these guys.
Anything,
I
We
agree
know. Go ahead.
anything that we do this moment with Galsariad, whether he goes to prison, whether he's let go, if we send him to prison, he even said to us, there's a chance he's not going to last the night. If you remember from when we worked with our mutual partners, Julian, if you were caught and you're a loose end, what do you think happens to you in prison? And this is us going from our trade. They didn't, depending on your relation, they would have just let you die or kill you themselves because you
He
have
has a
information.
magic. We never had magic contracts casted on us that prevented us from talking about secrets. Seems like they do things a bit more
Yeah.
different.
He's only going to jail for 10 days too. They're not going to kill him for going to jail for 10 days.
Doesn't-
Like,
Doesn't just have to be a spell that does that.
Also,
Spell
the
keeps
maroon.
him from talking, but it doesn't mean they won't slip a knife in his gut.
I don't think they will do that. At the moment, he's going to be arrested for trying to steal a magic ring and a bag of holding, and it's like $7,000 worth of value or something like that. That's like his fine. There's there's nothing in that implicates him to like the veil or anything. I don't think they're gonna
Yeah.
slit his throat. And I think the Maroon side, I think the Maroon Six isn't stupid. Galsariad talked to him about his plan. He convinced at least Irvin to help him with it, and the rest of them to at least not stop them. They're gonna see that he got arrested for about 7,000 worth of values. They're gonna see that he got arrested for trying to steal a magic ring and a bag, and they're gonna know that we didn't tell them about the amulet. They're gonna know that we tried to give him a lesser sentence even after this betrayal. And so, I feel like this is enough of a final act of like kindness towards that group, and from that, and since they're the ones who since they're the ones who betrayed us, from this point on, it's kind of on them to restore that relationship.
Who said we didn't betray them first though? When I did my bright beanie.
Because he went back.
You didn't infiltrate
We
the Maroon Six. You
didn't
didn't steal from
betray
the
them
Maroon
though.
Six.
It wasn't them. It wasn't the Maroon Six.
You can't just say like
But
everyone
if-
in the consortium is
we
a part
Yeah.
of the Maroon
from-
6.
If we
Yeah,
steal
that's-
from somebody that they're working with and are their friends, if someone stole from Prolix, would that not piss us off? Would that not affect us?
No.
No, they were still from Pollux, but when you're putting a god tier item, a legendary item that's gleaming with special magical properties that has a huge meaning to the past time and everything, like the age of fuck, I'm losing all my notes and everything. To the time of strife and all that stuff. That's a different box. Like your petty thievery, jewels, your documents and all that stuff, that's beneath us. That's so low now. We have something that's tied directly to the past. They are trying to actively sabotage that now. And this feeling was also brought on by Galsariad when we were in the shrine at the very end of Betrayer's Rise, trying to goad. But we were able to talk sense into Ao, and she was able to gather them, but they've always been on these fretting kind of feelings. But I think good things are being brought up by Zeno, that this material substance, this ruidium, it does have an effect or something, but we don't fully understand it. But we know that it cages these emotions, that Elixion was there down in the deep depths, where it's his pain, his emotions, his fear, his melancholy, his everything. It's probably something with that, but we just don't know for certain. Either way, I don't care. It's whatever is going to happen, happens. So make your decisions quick. We have too much going on in the mornings now to be sitting here and playing Judge Dredd. But, Xenon, you okay though? You look kind of sick.
Riot's moved over and is holding holding Zeno up right now.
Yeah, Zeno, what's wrong with you? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have phrased it that way.
You
Fucking Tom's face.
just
What's wrong with you?
dumped charisma. What the fuck is
You
wrong
look
with you?
you look even more pale than usual.
We could talk about me later. We have to figure out what we're doing with Galsariad. I stand by my decision. If all of you, well, Melina, you rose a good point. We do have a vestige. There is some tie to the past. There's a tie to deities. There's a tie to betrayer gods. There's a concern about them. If there's one thing we need, it's allies, not enemies.
We have plenty of allies. We have the Allegiance. We have plenty.
The
We're going
Allegiance
about
is
this.
our ally. They can't even hold themselves straight.
I also want to bring up the fact that through
Would
this
hate to
altercation,
Go ahead.
we are the ones who called the guards, by the way. It wasn't some looker buyer that called the guards, we did. So I feel like at this point, after we called them, I don't think there's a, oh, sorry, we didn't mean to call you and make this giant ruckus. I don't think there's a way out for Galsariad to just be let go.
Melina was going to strike a low blow, but she won't. I
Don't know.
either way, it's starting to get late. It's someone just make the choice. I'm done. I want to go back to sleep. We have far too much to worry about. We have a literal deity that's behind, underneath this city, possibly waiting for us. That's what I care about.
I
Right.
think a fine in 10 days is more than fair. There's still if the Maroon Six is interested in amending relationships with us after this betrayal, we still can help them after the 10 days.
Riot's gonna look at Zeno and look at everybody else. I'm taking him back to the room now. If you guys are gonna do this, you guys do this on your own. You know where we stand. But
You,
Zeno needs to get down. He is not doing well, and I know when someone is.
Was he like poisoned or something? What happened to Zeno?
We will figure out about it later when we get back to the inn. I'm going to make him some tea. Zeno, if you're willing to
Okay.
trust me, I'm going to make you some tea because I think you need a full 8 hours sleep, not just your 4. I think
That's
you
fine.
need to actually sleep.
I'll do whatever. I don't care.
That's a good idea.
Zeno and Riot will go. You guys make your choices, but just know whatever we do decide will reverberate between the Maroon.
What's wrong with
You guys might not care, but at least we do.
Oh right, hang on. Give me the bag of holding real quick. Without
I have
the
the bag of
suit
holding.
and stuff
It's
in
in
it.
my-
Oh,
That's
okay.
already in his bag. No, actually, Riot still has the bag of holding. He actually took stuff out of it. He hasn't given back
Yeah.
yet, but Riot will hand the bag to it, and also the whatchamacallit, the assassin stuff from Silver's in his bag too.
Okay.
But he'll hand the bag to whoever wants it, and then walk away with Zeno.
Well, it's got all my shit in it, so I'm taking the bag.
Yeah, Melina, can you come with me? You
Yes.
two were the ones who were being robbed. Basically. We'll present the bag and Nia's ring as what was attempting to be stolen from us.
And so, are we just gonna make the decision? Like, well, if them two are doing whatever, if I'm on the fence, then I don't know. I'm saying
You're
10
on the
days.
fence about it?
3. No, I'm saying 10 days jail
Yeah,
time
that's
and then
what
the
I'm saying.
$6,000 fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, say that then.
So, I mean, like, if you guys are all in agreement there, then he shall receive that sentence. You guys report to the guard who introduced himself. I didn't have like the name back then. Captain Brass. If anybody wants to keep notes, this is the current township's captain. Same sort of how there's a captain in every district. You guys met the one in the Suncup Bazaar. This one is of this sort of area along the edge of the ridge. Yeah.
Brass?
Brass. Brass. But she takes your report and informs you that Galsariad should then be taken to, seeing as he's not rebuking anything and you're pressing charges, he'll be taken to the Bastion in the Sun Herald district, and from there probably judged within the palace, and verdict be passed, held in the Scarlet Dungeons beneath.
Is she a human? And
Yes.
This is the sigil district she's currently in.
It's like the sigil district bordering the ridge a little bit, but yeah. Because, yeah. Yes.
Oh, just
The
for my notes.
Must be.
The sigil district, for your notes, yes.
Thank you.
She must be extremely skilled or something. The last captain we saw was a literal giant.
She'll take it as a compliment. Without delaying the night too much further, since we had a whole session last time with it, unless anybody wishes to say anything else to Galsariad or anything else, we can move right along from here.
I would probably
Yeah, so-
say, while turning and walking away, be like, if it's help that you truly seek, kind of relating to the geese, and if he actually wants to get rid of that and everything, you need not ask. But I hope this serves as a first-time warning, and hopefully the last. It could be worse.
Through everything you guys have been through, I would say Galsariad would have probably looked at Melina with the utmost respect out of everybody, given your history. He looks onto you and roll me insight.
Okay. Normal. 14.
14. You're not quite sure what's going through his head right now, but you detect a little hint of maybe remorse. That mask of sarcasm, but he dons that highborn mask of the 200-year-old highborn elf. Slips for a moment as he looks up to you in that pale light of the anti-magic field, and he says, "Do not blame them. It was my idea. I may have pushed Irvin into it out of love, but in the end, I was the one to drive it. We all had our voices. In truth, I'm sure Ao would speak ill of me of what I've committed tonight, and I am ready to face my due consequence from both the law and the party."
Melina would give a small head bow, as in, but not saying anything, as in, I respect you, you're falling on your sword, and that is something that I could I find very respectable, that you're not kicking and screaming.
I just want you to keep one thing in mind. As much as I take this with as much humility as I can, these are the consequences of my actions after all. This could have been you. You could have been in my place just as much. And then he sort of bows his head. I'm sure you would have done the same for your party. As if to say that,
This doesn't have to.
his actions were driven not from selfishness alone, sort of thing. He did it for them, after all.
This doesn't have to be the end, Galsariad. When you get out, when you meet up again with the Maroon Six, you can make amends. We tried to do you a favor. You know what it was. One final act of kindness. You know, we don't hate you.
He smiles at that. He's actually glad to hear that. A part of him is glad to see a little bit of measure of respect between rivals. Nice. That was nice. All right. Without letting Zeno collapse onto his knees, right as you drag him back to the apartments. Is that where you're headed?
Yeah.
Just around this. I'm guessing the party would follow Riot and join as a party.
Yeah, as soon as they were done
Yeah.
with the guards, we would be like beelining it to Zeno and Riot's room to check on that.
Sure, let's do that, guys. I'll go ahead and just copy and paste you guys across to the other map just so we have something nice to look at. This would be the apartments.
We'd be in the lower one.
Sure, yeah,
Yep.
yours.
Unless Naya Melina wants to give him the comfy one.
Figure it out. Alright. Here we are.
We don't even have a bed in here. I think the bed's like somewhere around here, but we don't have a door for it.
Let me put a spot of bed for you, I guess.
I was sleeping in the tub.
Zeno is not able to make it all the way to the bedroom, so you drag the bed into the kitchen. There you go. There's now a sick bed in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Takes
on
like-
top of the table.
It takes like four of you guys to drag it like across from the corner and just put it like right next. Like it's nice, like right by the window, so you have like a little breeze going on, which is actually, you know, all jokes aside, probably better for you. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a nice looking futon.
It looks like you're dying. It looks like you're on your deathbed, looking out the window. Like I'm not gonna make it, guys. Well, he looks like it. All jokes aside, that's what he looks like, pale and sweating.
To me, the bed is on top of Zeno, so...
Yeah, he's actually sleeping under the bed. This is a...
Yeah.
Oh, is he? I'm sorry. Here we go.
He's underneath it.
No, put him underneath it.
Yeah.
Underneath the bed. You're like,
So you don't get to be,
I'm a-
like, in comfort. We, like, shove you under the bed.
I'm a hardcore blood hunter. I don't need a fucking bed. I sleep in the wilderness.
I sleep in the dark. He crawls beneath bed. I am the monster beneath your bed. I became the monster to battle monster. Anyways.
This is where I find them.
Yeah.
There's actually just a portal to like the Underdark.
the dark fell, yeah. Alright, guys. Zeno, how you feeling? How you looking?
Very, very weary. Just very sluggish. Able to speak coherently, but obviously something's off in his voice as he's talking. And so we left here first, right? So the first thing I'm going to say is, so what did you decide with Galsariad?
Well,
He's
it's
gonna
done.
be
It's
put
done.
away for 10 days. He has a fine, but he seemed happy with our decision. He knows that, we tried to do him a last sign of kindness by not telling kind of Ord about the real weight of his crimes. And I reached out to him. I told him that, once he's reunited with the Maroon Six, that they can try to reach out to us again to make amends.
Fair enough. You remember when there's no politics. You remember when Frolix came to us and he gave us that ring, and I said I'd take it because I didn't want anything bad to happen to any of you. He starts to take off his glove. This. And you just see a very red rash, very deep, around the ring, pretty much consuming the entire finger, and it's starting to creep out towards his forearms across the palms. Everything has a cost. Clearly, Ruidium does.
That happened after just wearing the ring for 1 day?
Like an hour, or not even.
I don't know.
Wait, but you were
for some
fine.
time.
You were fine when they tried to steal the amulet from us, right? You looked fine. Like, actually, I wasn't here. Never mind. I'm shutting up.
See, this is what I'm saying, is that this ruidium has these properties that we don't quite understand. Even after a day of having this on, you're already starting to feel the effects. Melina will kind of look at your hand and then kind of want to look and watch, she's not a medical, but she knows that it has magical properties, so she just wants to see at surface level exactly how this is looking.
Touch it.
And just kind of just barely kind of gauging your response, kind of if I'm touching too close to it, is it hurting you and causing you pain? Kind of just minor stuff like that, just kind of gauging it. But a smile kind of comes across her face, and she's like, while I sympathize and I can't imagine how far that this can go, maybe we should not have you wear the ring. This is actually works wonderful for us, because whoever had this ring, and if they were wearing it, and if it was someone, perhaps we need to start looking for people who have this marking around their finger. That could be a dead giveaway.
Although we should see if perhaps it goes away. And as she says that, she dons her gloves kind of nonchalantly, and she just walks up to Zeno, grabs his wrist, and just attempts to yank it off with gloves on.
The ring comes off?
Awesome. With that said, she puts it in a little pouch and hands it to Melina and says, "We should probably put that in the bag."
Well, no, I don't think you have to take the ring. I think it's because I activated it. That's what I believe.
You don't have to touch it, my precious. You don't have to.
Give me the ring!
Starts murdering everybody.
Give it back!
I don't think you should do that.
Perhaps you should go without for a little bit. A, so we can see if it is the activation of the ring that caused this, or B, if it was just you holding it. Also to see, along Melina's point of view, of whether we should be looking out for this mark if it goes away within a relatively short period of time.
That is a good
Although
point.
Galsariad didn't seem like he was very sick or had this rash on him, and he apparently had a ruidium dagger on him. Do we think he just got it a few hours before trying to steal with us?
It's hard to say. I mean, maybe everything has a different effect. It's not all the same. Maybe it's how the magic is being used or what it's doing. His magical dagger, I was able to... well, technically I haven't had the time to look at it. I only need 10 minutes. Fuck it, I'll just say I know.
You couldn't have
having
gotten
its
it,
properties.
on the way back?
Yeah, I'll just say I did on the way back, just for quality. Yeah, you're able to do things with this. Maybe it's when you activate it, it acts in a certain way and it just takes its toll, but it's how long that toll is being taken on the person. Is it forever? Does it fade? Like, what's the cost of this? Everything has a cost.
Maybe. Yeah, there's a different activation. The
Yeah.
ring does seem to have like a manual activation to it, whereas the dagger is more passive.
When you had this ring on, what exactly did you do with it earlier? How did you use it in what way?
Just like any magic item, when you attune to it, when you understand how to wield it, you just activate its properties. You let the magic flow through you.
But I'm
And
saying,
that's what I did whenever we first engaged the thieves. I activated its power. I could feel it pulsing, and I was able to use the properties it was bestowing on me.
but those properties, what were they? I only understood so much, but into what capacity did you use them? If you used it in a certain way, maybe that's why it's leaving its mark, or it's zapping the life out of you. Maybe if you were to use it in a different way, it wouldn't. I'm just only trying to connect the pieces.
I would advise you to seek the wise counsel of 5E tools to understand its properties. So to answer your question, what it did for me is gave me a bit of strength. Felt power. It gave me, I don't know, when attacking, when I was firing those bolts from my crossbow, I don't want to say it gave me accuracy, more, I don't know, the precision to hit the vital spots. And I didn't really feel impeded by anything. I felt like I could parkour, if you will.
It was a bit more than that, the truth be told. Squeezing your hand, letting its power kind of rive through you. You've let in a little bit more than your best self, a little piece of divinity. Not so much unlike what you've experienced before with the Jewel 3 prayers, but this felt more primal, more raw. That anger was both yours and of something much greater. You drew it from somewhere else. It channeled through the ring.
I mean, it's lots of rage. I can tell you that much.
Well, maybe
Melina,
that's
can I
also
hold on to the dagger?
Unrefined rage.
during that conversation, she'll get from her waist because she's just gonna have it out. She'll hand you the dagger. She identified it.
Thank you.
Some kind of things though, but the magic works differently from everyone. But it means Elixion, he has those feelings of maybe when in the past time, and he's only channeling through you like a medium or something. He's able to enhance you, but maybe it's too much for your body, our mortal bodies, to that of such a deity.
So, what do you propose? I keep it off for a bit? That's what...
Well, Nia did have a good point. If you leave it off for a little bit, let's see how much of an effect it has. Whoever was wearing this, or if they were wearing it, or however they were using it, and if it's either the Vermilion, the Sentinels, or even the Veil, however this item came to be, I was going to say... fuck, my train of thought was just getting all fucked up. If they were wearing it for a long time, then it'll leave a mark, just like how you would have a wedding ring. Melina will remove her wedding ring, and you'll see that her skin under that is significantly more pale because the ring is over it.
More pale
so maybe
than
it'll
regular Melina?
What?
More pale than regular Melina?
Yeah, I mean she has pale skin, but she's been in the sun here. I mean, can't escape it so much.
It's like you can see the veins beneath the skin. It's so pale, it's just
translucent. It's actually just like you just see through. It's just transparent.
You wash your finger under that ring?
Well, fuck yeah, I do. It's gonna smell.
Fine.
But I'm saying, yeah, it would at least give us an idea to kind of see after a day's use how much of the residual effect is standing there. If someone who was wearing this ring all the time, they'll have more of a mark on their finger. So we can kind of do that with you, and then by tomorrow,
possible that someone stole it without ever wearing it though.
it's true too, yes, but
Mhm.
it's something to keep in see. But if it's the Vermilion, or if it's the Sentinels, or whoever it is, if they're drawn to this power, well, actually no, it wouldn't be the Well, Melina's like pondering all this. Like maybe it's not the Sentinels because they don't really seek all that. They want everyone to stay out. But maybe it is the Vermilion.
Regardless, I know. Just think of it as we're trying to make observations for the future,
Yeah.
and after, let's say, like after a day, we'll get it back to you.
By tomorrow,
Here,
take it and have it.
I already took it off. I already ripped it off your finger.
No, you didn't. Like
Yes, I did.
that implies I had
Are you
to
rolling for resistance? Are you rolling to resist me? I already yanked it off your finger.
Yeah, I think that I would have resisted that. So let's not be rash here. If we're gonna spend this evening playing compromise, then fine. I won't wear it, but I will keep it on my person. I will put it in my pocket.
I think
Not wear it.
That's fine.
I don't think we should stop Zeno from using it if he really wants to. I mean, he's not like bringing harm to us or anything.
Yeah.
Although
It's
I
your
do
own
think
choice.
that maybe you should be more cautious about how often you use it.
Yeah,
Don't use
kind
it
of like
every combat. If it seems to be that there's a cost to using it.
kind of like whenever you had
I'm-
you were tuned to the jewel in Betrayer's Rise, and you were saying near the end of it that you were starting to lose yourself being turned for so long.
You are a blood hunter, and you're able to harness the power of Hemocraft, and you push your body to the limits as it is already. This will simply enhance that, but I don't need to be the one to tell you that it all has a cost. So the ring will stay with you. See to it how you see fit. Just be careful, and that, let us know if there's anything that we can do, or if you have any insight.
Noted. Fine. I'm not gonna argue. I'll take the ring off. And he does. Even, Naif, you had already slipped it off.
Nai would have gave it back to you after the decision. Like
I'll take
after
it,
talking,
put it in
she
my
would have
pocket.
given it back to you.
Okay. I'll take it, put it in my pocket. I show everybody what pocket I put it in. And then I just gently rub that spot. Precious style. Yes, there is a cost using Ruidium. It would have been nice to see what Galsariad had known about it, but maybe we can ask him in 10 days.
Galsariad seemed to be fine. He didn't seem sickly or anything despite apparently having this Ruidium dagger on him. But he is more of a spellcaster than a dagger wielder, so maybe he just never used it after getting it. Who knows? I'm gonna always be wearing my gloves going forward while I'm holding this dagger, and we'll see how I fare.
It may not always be physical effects, might be mental or something. But then again, the Ruidium can react in so many different ways. I think once we go into Kalmaro, maybe we'll find more. The archaeologists who are down there who know about this, they might have better insight than we do right now. But we can also talk to them in a couple of days' time. We will see them at the blood pit. I don't know why. I don't think it's the blood pit. I always just call it blood pit or blood bowl. I don't know why. Apologies.
We all know what you're talking about. It
in that
can be
picture.
the blood pit going forward, as long as the party knows what you're talking about.
I always just called the Blood Bowl. I don't know. It just Warhammer 40k or Warhammer Fantasy, whatever came into my mind at that point. I was like, oh yeah, fighting ground, Blood Bowl. That sounds cool. And then it's just stuck. I was gonna say, dude, that scene in the movie always scares me. Never liked it. I always had to look away.
Which movie?
Lord of the Rings that you posted in game chat.
Oh yeah, the Bilbo face.
Yeah, I like every time that scene comes up, I'm like, ooh, I gotta look away. I don't like it.
I'm gonna send you a link after session that might therapeutically solve that for you. There's a whole subreddit of people just photoshopping that face onto porn scenes, and it did it for me. I'm not scared anymore.
Cool, new kink unlocked.
Yeah, this border is like that's a whole other story, but I'm not scared.
Well, Okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Blood Bowl.
Yeah, we have them to talk to, and we still have a lot to find out. We just have so much on our plate that we need to start kind of putting our priorities down.
Can we be sure to lock up tonight? I don't want to deal with more riffraff.
Yeah, well, we should probably keep watch just to be safe.
I'll stay here tonight and coming days.
You definitely
Why don't you
will.
stay here tonight now?
Yeah, he is.
You said coming days.
Yeah, like tonight and like moving forward.
And
Let's
tonight
go
and
with
coming
this.
days, yeah.
Yeah. Julian,
Coming
you're
days
welcome.
is the future reference, not the moment.
You're welcome to help yourself to the broom closet or the tub. That's all we have here.
Nick, Julian is asking me if the Rudium Dagger has any like magical properties in terms of increasing its damage. What were Melina's
I
findings?
was asking if it had like a plus to hit.
Oh, like a +1.
Why don't you just look at the thing that's
It already
in the...
gives you the 1d6. I think it would have just said if it gave you a +1. It's magic, but it's not like
Interesting.
it already
Okay.
gives you the.
normal dagger.
I don't know. It's such a
Okay.
weird wording. I can see it both ways, honestly.
It's
But
not
I
both
find
ways.
it
It's
shitty.
not a +1 weapon, but it is a magical weapon. But that being said, try not to split conversation in chat as if, because then you're just leading two different conversations. Let's just focus on one thing at a time. Listen to what other people are saying, and then you can ask your powder mates. Because frankly, Melina identified it in between sessions, and there is a handout under treasures. So
Yeah, it's not a +1. It's
Yeah.
magic, so it overcomes resistance, but it's not the +1 benefit. That's
It's
a totally different.
better than
thing.
+1. It's like +2 if you
Yeah,
think about it, because that's the lowest. No, +1. It is +1 because that's the lowest it can roll if you think about it. +1 psychic damage, right?
Yeah, I mean technically,
Technically,
Yeah,
it's just
that's
not
why I was asking.
nothing to hit.
it's still
When-
magic. It overcomes.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Megan.
That's why I was asking when Julian was giving me when he got the dagger from you, and he was giving me the one he received from the Goblin Child's father way back in the green.
Loop.
That's a dagger +1, and he said it was magical. So, is it a dagger +1, or does it have a magical property to it?
The one
Plus
Julian handed you is a
dagger.
+1 dagger. If you look in the companion,
+1.
it's of
Okay.
Kryn make and it's fitted for small hands.
Okay, so
This is made for
the
hands
other
that are rich.
thing I was wondering is when I got my rapier silvered way back when, was I supposed to upgrade it to a rapier +1, or is
No.
it just has the effect silvered?
Silver.
Okay, perfect. Just want to double check. Thank you.
Anything else that the party wishes to discuss between yourselves before continuing with the long rest and finishing it off?
I'm guessing that the guys who runs this inn these inns is asleep.
Yeah, the lady.
This is less of an inn, it's more like actual apartments you guys rented. Yeah. There's no
So-
common ground.
It's a B&B.
I guess I'll sleep
Yeah.
on the floor. I think I have a sleeping bag, right? Yeah. It's in the bag of holding, but we can take that out. I have a bedroll and a blanket.
Sleep at Xeno's feet.
I'll sleep on the floor for tonight. Sure.
Yeah, as far as tomorrow morning, with our neighbor next door, is that still on? Because
We're
if
not
we
going to
let
be
him,
waking up in the morning. We're going to be waking up within 8 hours because we're all having full night's sleep.
well, yeah, we can still sleep. We slept already a little bit, then we had a break, and then we'll get another like 4 or 5 hours. But tomorrow morning, though, like we should probably still handle the man next door, because with these places getting broken into for 2 nights in a row, I don't think he's gonna stay here, and it's gonna be hard to track him down.
Mhm. I know that before
wanna-
all of.
Do you want to
before
have
all
a
of-
familiar watching him over the night?
I mean, I can have Kane out, and we can always have him as like a little tiny alarm.
Alarm. Oh, I mean, like, in case of intruders, I thought you meant like in the morning.
I have Shimmer going to be out in this room while I sleep.
I know
Rather than an
Melina.
alarm, I was thinking more along the lines of like an owl or something that's just like on the roof of our building, and if it sees that high elf leave at any point, it just follows him, and then like in the morning when we wake up, it can tell you like if he left and where he went or if he's still there.
Let me check and see what the fine words of my spell is.
Just so everybody does know, I set up a meeting with Silver for the evening to have dinner with her in the River District. So anybody who would like to come meet her and talk to her is more than welcome.
Wait, what?
I thought she said to meet her at the
You set up
casino.
dinner with your sister?
Yes.
Yeah, you said it at the end of the session.
This was talked about more or less in Discord with Tom over the general chat for everybody to have seen, but we just said that it happened during that small time. That when he was in the corridor, in the alleyway, when he released his sister, they discussed the meet.
Okay.
So if you guys wish to get to know her and talk to her, and don't interrogate her in the way that we normally do with everybody else in the city, she might be willing to help or even answer questions, or at least be around to have a good time with us. And you can meet her for who she is.
Well,
There is no good time in this accursed city.
Yeah. As far as the interrogation, I still have questions to know.
And
But-
she might say yes, or she might say no. You'll have to respect that, though.
Well, seeing as though she did try to steal from us, it's on the fence, but I'll still be willing to hear it out.
Yeah, at the end of the day, all Wright says was it's an invite. Remains to be seen what remains to be seen. All right. Good.
As far as the familiar, as far as Kane, he can go out, but I just don't have any more charcoal for the ritual.
When you went to Gilmore's, which is like nearby by the ridge, you saw those sort of materials available in little gilded braziers should you need more. So
Yeah, just like take from the brazier because I need 10 gold worth.
yeah,
But
he has it if you need to restock. So
his shop isn't closed. He's open 24/7. Damn.
I didn't say that. I just said that last time when you went, you saw that those components there in case you need them.
Riot has to go in the morning anyways, but it's just going to be an instant. We're not going to go through the whole shopping session.
No, he already
Yeah,
gave me what he needs
but
to shop for. But if you need more, we can just get it out of the way.
Yeah, but I need to have it now though. I can't go in the morning. I need
Oh.
it now to do the ritual because it's material that's used during the spell for 10 minutes.
What do you need the ritual for? Can't you just summon him now? Isn't he like
I can summon him,
his
but
shape,
he's a,
right?
yeah.
He's
I
a
can
spider.
summon him. No, he's a snake.
a snake? Okay, snakes and spiders are both nocturnal creatures.
Yes, but Julian had the plan
Mhm.
of if he is to leave in the morning, and if we're asleep, or if no one stays awake or does anything, or if we can't catch him in the morning, we at least have a backup. For Kane to follow him and do so, and then kind of just track his well-being and everything, and then Kane will just have to come back on his own after he thinks we're awake
Sure.
or something.
All I'm saying
and then
that
within 100.
that plan works with the snake as well. If you want to do that, snake and trail just as well.
I feel like a snake is going to be a lot harder to go through busy streets and not get stepped on.
It just is what it is, I guess, in the what we're in. I don't think there's a way for you to
Yeah, like
get
you
the
decide.
charcoal for tonight.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So, like, if I'm not able to get the charcoal, I can't change. Therefore, Julian, I'm sorry, I don't have a way of doing it. That's what I'm getting at.
We can still try with the snake. No, if it fails, whatever. We're not in any worse position than if we don't try.
Well, then I'll have Kane like stand guard, or if there's somewhere he can kind of go into a corner and not like be shooed off by a broom or something.
In the street.
Yeah, like if he's able to like coil up, like if there's a palm tree, he can kind of coil up underneath, like if there's some bushes or something, or
Sure. Can you just like place him on a map somewhere so I have like a general self reference where he's at? Like just
I don't think
big.
I have access to his token.
Can you just like ping the map somewhere? Like.
Hold on, I gotta go outside. And
Oh, you don't have Explorer mode on? I thought you put it on. I thought you guys have the entire view of where you explored already.
Well, I can see, but not that well, so I gotta have light. Put him like, I don't know, basically just some barrels over here against this wall or something.
Like right by the window still?
Yeah, kind of by the window, or
Sure.
just like where he can have, he'll hear and.
And by the way, you're looking through the window and you can see the you let Kane slip out of your sleeve and sort of slither toward that position. I imagine you won't approach 5 feet away from his window, but should you look at the window? He's sitting there at his writing desk, writing, still awake at this hour of night.
Wow. Even after all that commotion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give instructions to Kane that if we are not awake or if anything happens or something like that, follow him to the best of your ability.
Sure.
If anything happens to you, I'll resummon you. Don't worry, Mama's got you.
Okay.
And then, also, if you see him making your way out, make yourself known, your presence, because if we want to appeal to him and Zahir, I think that's a really good calling card to be like, hey, Zahir is watching you. A snake is following you. Hey, isn't that a coinky dink?
It's dope. I like
I'll have
that.
him do that.
So he lets out a friendly hiss in response of agreement, communicating with you the way that a wizard and its familiar communicate.
I give him a small kiss on the head.
Oh, lovely. That being said, I was going to ask you, do you take a moment to look through the window, or do you just let him go and try not to be seen?
Yeah, just try not to be seen. I don't want to cause any
Fair
more
enough.
stuff right now, because we're already skating it pretty thin.
Okay, fair enough. Anybody else? Anything else?
I realized I have the most ridiculous roundabout way of getting animals to get animals to help us. Because, if I have the use of my Manticore, if I haven't used up its daily spell slot, I have talk with animals. And then I could use tongues, or just talk with animals, and then use suggestion on it, which is fun.
When Ryan goes to sleep, he's going to have Shimmer watch. And just tell Shimmer, give me a little nip if you see someone try and break in. Or flutter in my ear.
You're not quite sure if Shimmer understands, but Shimmer remains there on your chest, chilling. Fair enough.
Nia would look back to Melina and be like, should we go back to our room and just perhaps ensure we lock all of the windows this time? Or do you want to stay here?
If we want to give our neighbor, if we catch him in the morning, if we're going to still continue that plan of try to meet with him in the morning and everything and be like, oh, hey, the break-in happened last night, these bandits came in, if we really want to try to appeal to him, hey, making sure you're okay. If we catch him in the morning, then it might look more natural. Yeah, yeah.
Did we want to riot to have something prepared that we could fall in that line of just general camaraderie and just being like, oh hey, this, and then we're like, oh, we have some muffins, do you want one, kind of thing. It's been a long night.
I mean, we can if you want. You pace your class. Which feet? Oh. We can definitely do that. I mean, I have Dust of Deliciousness that would help him be a little less perceptive on harm effects. But, I mean, that's the best way to get information if he's not going to cooperate with us, and it will last an hour. So as long as the charm spell.
The other thing... Yeah, and the other thing, though, is that if we do go down that route and we want to use suggestion, what specifically information do we want out of? Other than, do we just want to be, who are you involved with? Do we just want a specific confirmation? I know, what the library wants us to get out of him, but, do we have a specific angle that we want to phrase it / go about it?
You seem to be the more master of the words and the arts of what's the word I'm trying to use? Interrogations and stuff like that. I would say whatever seems more natural to you. At the end of the day, we want to know what he's doing here in the city, just like how the library had said. But you know,
We want to know his
trying
name.
to, yeah, I mean, well, we want to know his name, but we also, I mean, maybe phrase it in a way of just something casual of, what brings you to the city, or if there's something that you have any magical means of kind of dipping or slipping more into. I would leave it up to you.
Okay. So are we gonna go to bed? Bedtime?
Riot's gonna make some tea for Zeno and use the sandberries so he would actually sleep.
Nice.
Better be chamomile.
I don't think I actually have it written down anymore what it did, but essentially it puts you to sleep for a long rest, and you actually physically sleep.
It's technically a poison for the sake of the elves among us.
You're trying to poison me.
Well, instead, if we can use if it's a poison and we would just want him to rest, he can
No, he's still using
Mia
it.
would go into her bag and would give her Olisubo leaves to Riot and be like, perhaps if not this, then try these leaves. They help the body to recover from strenuous activity and are not harmful.
So what I meant by not poison for the sake of the elves among us is that it's not like a magical means of making you fall asleep that some of the ancestry of among us are immune to, so it would work is what I meant to say. Not as in a bad connotation. You guys achieve rest.
Oh, I see.
Everybody good with me flipping time forward?
Yep.
Cool. Riot. You find night's rest. Switch up the music a little bit. You find night's rest. As sleep takes you, you dream of the jewel of 3 prayers. In your dreams, you hold onto the jewel as it guides you through a vast underwater landscape. You walk along the edge of a vast underwater reef. Below, past the reef's edge, a dark abyss descends into this great depth. Beside you walk your companions, Nia, Zeno, Melina, Julian, Silver, Rice. Together you tread on, leaping the edge and descending further and further deeper into that dark gloom below. In your dream, the light of the jewel resonates outwards, illuminating organic detritus falling down like ocean snow around you, like ash. As you sort of continue descending, you feel an eerie sensation wash over you, like the feeling of being abandoned by that nurturing essence of the wild mother and all good things that dwell above the water's surface. In the dream, you enter an alien, hostile murk, blind to what's above, blind to what's below, suspended in this darkness. The sensation crawling up your spine intensifies as the crushing pressure of this depth squeezes at the very breath in your lungs. That's when fear begins to settle, as you watch one by one your allies grasp at their throats and struggling they vanish from view, their silhouettes flickering as if against the last lingering afterglow of a snuffed candle, before vanishing in a misty cloud of inky shadow one by one. Only 2 figures remain, swimming ahead of you. See, it's Zeno and Melina. As you continue to struggle against the crushing depths, you see glowing upon Zeno's hand is that ruidium ring, and held in Melina's hand is Galsariad's dagger. And as you feel the last of your breath bubble out, and as you sink into that void, you watch the forms of your 2 remaining companions swim onwards, unhindered, growing distant, before you are finally embraced by tendrils of kelp that enwrap you in a funeral shroud. And then you join the remnants of 1,000 others forever lost in these underwater abyss depths. You awake at pale dawn. Outside your window, you still lingering in the hues of the sunrise-lit skies, Regis, the red moon flaring its vermilion light, tainting a few stars still alight at this early hour in this vermilion light that bears ill omen. And you sense a dark, foreboding feeling sensation still linger from your dream. Reading the stars, you foresee woe upon this day. Consider that your cosmic omen for today.
Well, okay.
Feeling somewhat rested and unable to fall back asleep anyway, you decide to take the time to don on your clothes, head out to the bazaar for some morning errands, to sort of shake off that feeling. Will feel free to add the items you wish to shop for, as we discussed in Discord, and sort of finishing with your shopping. That feeling still lingering, that unease. You make your way back to rejoin the party.
Before he gets back, he'd probably stop by an alleyway and actually throw up a little bit.
As you stop by the alley, spew forth, trying to purge yourself, you look onto the wall, and through the grime, through teary eyes, you see a symbol. It's like a skull of some deep sea creature with 8 tentacles writhing out, carved into the wall as if by the tip of some dagger, spreading out. It is some eldritch symbol.
Would it bring back memories of what he saw Julian do along the wall in Bazzoxan?
Yeah. It's that symbol. It's a skull, squid-like in shape. 2 hollow points where the eyes would be. But even in that hollow, with that sensation still upon you, you feel those eyes glaring at you, following.
He's gonna take out his dagger gleam and just try to run a scratch through it.
Scratch and the feeling abates, just for a little while. And as it does so, you feel yourself wanting to rejoin your party. As I turn our attention back toward the rest of you. Face fortune, as you rise come morning. Zeno, you're feeling still shitty, but better, relatively. Go ahead and bring your exhaustion down to 1. After a proper drug-induced, perhaps tea-induced night's rest. As each of you sort of wakes in your respective beds, yeah.
So Naya gave Riot that Olisuba tree thing in the chat there.
Yeah.
It says your exhaustion is reduced by 2.
Oh, nice. So it reduces your exhaustion all the way down to 0.
Yeah. So I wake up, I feel so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And I would immediately thank Riot and Naya again. I feel better.
But you look down at your hand. The rash remained.
Well, that's not good.
Feel better?
I feel better, but the rash hasn't left. I don't know quite what that means, but maybe it takes longer to heal. I don't know. Maybe it's permanent. We definitely need to learn more about Ruidium, and were we not going to look up this ring at the Allegiance or the library or something? Forget which location, but we were going to...
We were.
Yeah, we need to go check the logs.
I think we need to check the logs, because this directly affects me right now, and I don't know if this is going to get worse.
Yeah, let's go to the Allegiance of All side. Nia, what does Kane report?
You mean me?
Melina, right, my bad.
Melina.
I'll try to telepathically communicate with Kane and see if he's even in range by doing so, and if I can make that like link between them.
Yeah, you make the link. He's still within the range of your connection. In inquiring to the query, you learned that your target did not leave the room come night. Can he? Is it a two-way communication? I actually don't know how familiar this works. Is it actually like telepathic two-way communication, or can he only understand you? Yeah, because I don't remember Caleb's cat ever talking back to him.
No, it never did. It was kind of a telepathy thing.
Yeah, well, telepathy can be a two-way communication. I'm just asking if the pet communicates back.
It just says that you can see through the familiar's eyes and hear what it hears. And, doing so, gaining the benefits, special senses. I am deaf and blind. As
You
an
can
action.
communicate. It's a
You
spell,
have
right?
to look through it. You
Yeah.
have to look through his eyes. You can't just have him watch. You just basically ask, has anything happened? And he goes, or...
I know I know he understands you 100%. I just don't know if he communicates back verbally or not verbally, telepathically. That's what I'm asking.
No, I don't see anything about it telepathically. It's just a matter of like, I just want to tap into his eyes, and I want to try that
Okay.
to know without stepping outside to see if he's still in his spot.
Through a snake's slitted eyes, through a vision, you can see the snake peering past the edge of some stone and bush, past glass panes into the apartment of the man, the elf, at his desk, as he is sat there where you saw him before. No bags under his eyes, no nothing. Still awake, and he seems to be writing with one hand in a journal while having several flasks. Sort of, he's inspecting like liquid in several flasks that he's picking up and sort of judging them against the sunlight, to maybe looking for impurities or anything. And he puts them aside and makes a few notations. And you can note now that through the snake's eyes, he's writing like a letter or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave Kane where he is.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna get up, get my shit together, do everything, and I will then appear at the door, and then I'll just let myself in. What's up? How you feeling?
Tom, I have the manta ray cloak from Julian, and I've attuned to it.
Okay.
Naya would go check up on Zeno. I'll be like, how you doing? And it'll go inspect his hand.
I feel very rested. Quite rested, actually. But this damn rash is still on my hand. It didn't go away.
Naya would inspect it to see if there was anything medically that she could help to if she thought that if she could get kind of like the impression of whether she could use either like holy water or an antitoxin or something that would help it.
Looking for a treatment for the rash. Go ahead and roll me medicine. 20. The symptoms themselves look as if you've spent some time by the sea, your home being on the shores, and you've seen what happens when people touch live coral. These look like almost like coral bites, if you will. Some of the dermis is very much irritated. Holy water, it just doesn't seem like the bite of some unholy fiend or undead zombie bite that needs to be treated with any holy ointments or anything. This is not so much a affliction of a antediluvian religious sense or like some unholy corruption. This is biological. This is not of, perhaps of magic, but not of unholy necromantic corruption. You know what I'm saying? So no need for holy water. With a 20, you can try and treat a rash, but you're not certain if that's going to help. What does treat coral bites, I wonder?
Yes,
on
on it.
No.
2 people said it. That's fucking hilarious.
No, not true.
you can
on jellyfish stings.
with a 20 medicine check, you can get your medicine kit out, and with the various antiseptics you have, the various ointments, you can try and dress it and make sure that it's dressed, and maybe change it a few times throughout the day to make sure that it stays relatively soaked and adhered. But you don't have a certain treatment beyond
But
a coral sting.
Nia would share with the group like what she can observe of it, and would try to wrap it and treat it as best as she can, and to give the basic instructions of like be sure to wash your hands in between tinkles.
I got good news and bad news. Good news, treatment is easy. Bad news, it's syphilis. I don't know. You got leprosy. I'm looking up medieval times hydrogen peroxide. I'm looking for like an equivalent.
Basically, she would basically just grab booze. Pour booze on it.
Leeches.
I know from my personal experience from motion, like what helps a wound like that is like actual mild sunlight actually heals it. Like after it's been ointment, exposed to sunlight and stuff like that. This is sort of the general knowledge you're getting with a 20 there.
I don't know. From my own personal experience, having skin that hates me, sun doesn't make it better.
But what you note the most important beyond all that is that it doesn't seem any different from last night.
Yeah.
Not any different since you took off the raid. So what?
Yeah. So, like I said, she would share that information and add it as an additional caution for Zeno if he chooses to use the ring again in the future.
Zeno, you said you feel better though, right? You feel completely fine?
No, not completely fine.
No?
I'm just well rested. A little irritable. Yeah, I'm feeling a little irritable, but rested. That makes sense.
Yeah, and he also got teas from both Riot and Nia that helped alleviate his exhaustion. In technical points, he had exhaustion too from using the ring for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and if you scroll up in the chat, you can see I gave him a special tea that helps alleviate exhaustion more rapidly.
What would you like to do, guys? Come morning.
You guys see Riot standing off, just staring at the old fireplace, essentially. Just with his hand on it, just looking straight down at it.
I think we should go back to trying to deal with whoever is trying to incriminate Prolux, which now it's also important for Zeno, maybe.
Do we want to take this opportunity before we head out to some other part of the city to, do we want to engage with, I'm going to call him Z-Man, Zahir. Zahir dude, I think is what you guys were calling him in chat.
Just being like good Samaritans, good neighbors.
Yeah.
Well, either we do that now or we try and track him down later, but he may not be here after 2 break-ins at this place. Doesn't sound feasible. I checked in with Kane this morning. He's in the same spot where he's been since last night. He hasn't moved. He's just been writing with Quill and looking at vials and everything else. It's almost like not a statue, but just you can tell he hasn't slept.
So Melina, did you want to go with me to go and see him? Perhaps you can bring Kane and have Kane on your person so that to adhere, or not adhere, what is the word? Whatever the word is, that means that we personalize with him.
Well, whatever that we do, I suggest we do it as a team. That way we all have each other's backs if anything is to go bad, south, and we're all a part of it. So, I'm asking everyone right now, what are we doing?
I think if 5 of us show up at his door, that's a bit intimidating.
I can't just show up. He knows who I am, and he was skittish last time I talked to him. I mean, I'll be nearby, but I can't just show my face.
Well, it's possible he saw you walk in here with us, and then he knows that we're coming in here.
It's possible. Well, he's right there. Why don't you go talk to him? He's right next door. I say you give his door a good old knock and say hi. We're neighbors.
Yeah. I'm good with that. Although, Nick, I keep walking through the bathroom and then it won't let me through the door.
It's like just a story with her walking into the closet. They locked me in here. Yeah.
Immovable rod.
Before we go knocking on the door, do you mind if we take a quick 5? Everyone get that?
I'm gonna get some water.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Ooh. Never could be that.
And then there were 3.
I'm just looking at my spells and seeing which ones I want to take and which ones I want to drop right now.
Yeah. Druids get to do that. Druids and clerics. Super convenient.
Yep, very convenient. Just stumped on what I want to take for Riot right now.
What are you tossing between?
Currently, I'm thinking of dropping my Dispel Magic for another spell.
I have 1 charge of Dispel Magic in my ring, so if we need it once in the day, that's fine. I don't have it prepared, though.
I have my normal Good Berry and my Cure Wounds. Like, I always have Good Berry because that's just part of Riot's nature. I always have fruit on them. I got Lesser Restoration, like I'll always have Wither and Bloom, Hold Person. Revivify I always have there, even though we never use it, but just like the off chance. By the way, if Tom is back, the coral and the food are in the bag of holding, by the way.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
I just returned.
Sorry. The ruidium ore
Yeah.
and the bag of food are in the bag of holding, so they can't be located.
Do you want? Yeah, sure.
It was just more in case Neem tried to locate it again.
Yeah. As long as everybody in the party is aware of it as well.
Yeah. You can. What's the difference? They're both level 2. Oh, that just gives you an advantage.
I'm very happy that my camera doesn't pick up on all my white hairs I have in here. Yay!
Everybody here?
I am.
Yeah.
Shall we continue? I think Julian is still away from desk.
Oh no, it does show them. Boo! Too good of a camera. It shows my whites.
Is this a meme song playing right now?
That's a bad guy.
Yeah, I was about to say bad guy.
And before that, it was Ariana Grande.
You don't like my elevator / in music?
No, I was just
No, it's
listening. I was
like-
just
it's
like,
like-
where have I heard this?
It's like almost Bridgerton music, where basically you take a modern pop song and you like play it with a classical instrument.
Nick, want to play a game of guess what's the CR of those elite guards?
The ones we saw during the night.
Yeah, the Mage Hunter.
Can I guess?
14.
0 to 10?
Sure. You can guess if you want.
14.
0 to 10?
Nope.
No, to which
What
one?
is CR?
14 or
Both.
10?
Challenge rating.
Nick was
Like the
closer.
appropriate level for fighting them. Nick was closer. Well, wait. For
13 or
the
15?
anti-magic
15.
mecha, I'm guessing like 18. Oh, okay.
15.
Oh. Yeah, we faced kind of like one of those things in the,
Oh
Yeah,
no, you
temple.
faced nerfed version of one of those things. 'Cause
The
I'm
what?
The kind a nerfed version.
Oh, the nerfed version. Yeah, that thing was fucking us up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
why-
anti-field is fucking crazy.
I remember what was his name? Who played
Ivan?
no, not Ivan. What was the other guy? I purged him from my mind at this point. Who was he? Martin.
Ramirez?
Ramirez. Martin was like, oh wow, wait, hold on. So it stays on all the time or whatever, like that beam? I was like, yeah, that's what I said. That's what the DM was spoken, you know? So it was like, oh, it's stronger than like a beholder because it's not a beholder. Like
Yeah.
not everything is as
Yeah,
what you
just
used to.
analyzing the fuck out of it.
I was downstairs.
Oh, we're all here,
food
by
while
the way.
listening to the call, and during that last song, I was like, "Why does that sound so familiar?" It's like playing on a harmonica,
Yeah.
but I swear I've heard this before.
Good.
And then
Like I
Megan
said, he
said,
got his Bridgerton list up.
and then Megan
one-
said it was what was it, Ariana Grande? Yes.
Before that, yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing,
Ariana
the,
Grande and Billie Eilish. Yeah.
the most memorable, memorable thing. Like, there's a lot of things I remember about that campaign. But I think the one that just stuck with me the most was like, oh, so there's like this. We were in the Amber Temple. They're like, oh, this is dinner on this long table and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, I take that dinner, I flip it over, I take the table, and I stretch it across the walkway. And you're like, that's the most barbarian thing ever.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah, good shit. Good shit all around. But I think we're all here. I think
we're here
Anthony's
now.
here, everybody's here.
Mm-hmm.
So we can carry on from the morning. What would you like to do, guys?
I think Mia and Melina are about to go knock on the door.
Yeah. I was
I'll
gonna
go
say,
with
Gino,
this.
if you want to make yourself known, like across the street, or if there's anything, or however you want to approach the situation, it's up to you. Whatever you see fit, we can try to adapt. We were normally gonna try and catch them out in the open, but if we have the opportunity, we'll do it here. And
Yeah.
then before heading out, Zeno, did you hear that or?
Yeah, you wanted to
Oh,
catch him before
okay.
heading out?
Yeah, I didn't know if you had anything to bounce off that. If you...
No, I stand firm that I think, in my mind, I should not show my face. Maybe I can in time, but not right now. By all means,
Okay.
do your thing.
Before heading
Wish you
out,
Great
Oh, go ahead.
success.
I guess if anything goes awry, you'll be there close by enough to see.
I'll be listening.
Yeah. You have your goggles too, if you want to spy. I was gonna say then before heading out and like kind of grabbing all of our things to kind of like prepare for this, and like this is possibly a cultist of Zahir. There might be some like nefarious dealings and everything. Kind of mentally getting in that zone. Having Kane still be outside. She'll turn to Riot and then say like, "Are you here today? Are you with us? You seem out of it."
Well, I'm a little out of it. Had a very strange dream last night. Not not one that would perhaps warrant anything, but it's just I had a dream that we went down to Palmoro or some place like that. And I was holding onto the jewel. It was guiding us and led us over a reef and then down into the depths. Everybody was with us, our whole party, including my sister. And as we went deeper and deeper, grew darker, and the only thing that could show us the path was the jewel itself. And then I felt like everything was going to vanish, that everything was gone, that there was no hope left inside. We couldn't really see in the darkness, and then slowly, one by one, everybody started losing their breath except for two. Zeno and you, Melina. Zeno with the ring and you with the dagger. And all I can say is, as we moved deeper and deeper in, people started vanishing into like an inky blackness. One after another, choking and suffocating till they died. And then it blinked even farther where you guys were in front of me. And it was just three of us left. And slowly I fell into the darkness, but yet the only two that remained were you two holding on to the items with ruidium. Almost making it seem like the key in the darkness might be the cursed material we dislike to use. I don't feel good. I came across a small carving on my walk this morning. Somebody created or drew something with 8 tentacles and squid-like eyes. As I looked at it, Riot's just gonna look straight at Julian at this point and say, it looked identical to what Julian drew in Bazzoxan. I ran my
What did you
blade
see?
through it. The item, the carving that I saw on the wall in an alleyway looked identical to the one that you drew in Bazzoxan.
I've been joined. I'm here as well. So it might actually have been one of them.
Well, let me put it this way. When I put my blade through it and carved a scar through it, the sensation faded. But as I stood there looking at it, it slowly returned. A sickness in my stomach.
Did?
Yes,
Wait, the carving itself slowly returned? Or just your feelings?
my
about it?
feeling of sickness about it. And my
Okay.
sickness grew from being in the presence of it too.
Well, at least for now, I'm carving his symbol almost every day in like an alleyway unseen.
Well, that was the dream that I had. It's,
I'd say those dreams come from the goddess that you pray to, right?
not always, no.
Not always. Are they just normal dreams sometimes?
To be honest, I haven't yet had a dream from my god or the gods that I believe in. Not one. This
maybe
is
that this
just one that came to me last night.
might be that the amulet it's being called to from wherever he resides down in the deep. Like it's trying to find its way and trying to guide us through something. Your visions might have meaning. Maybe when we get down there and we see that we might actually experience these things, but we'll need to hold fast. And if it's true that if that ruidium is what will help guide us, then at least we have some of what we need now.
It just shows that those who don't have ruidium seem to perish and die in the depths below. So, as much as we want to jump down into Calamaro, currently it might be a tad dangerous for us to do that unless we all have a certain item. It's a
The dream
possibility.
does sound like a warning. It sounds like unless we have a ruidium item on us that will drown.
It doesn't sound so, because we know from what we've seen from Elixion, Ruidium is a part of him. So maybe we need that additional connection to enter his domain or be near him.
From what we've learned, the Ruidium is his essence itself. When Melina was the one who identified the ring and heard his voice through it, Riot will reach into his bag of holding and pull out the ore, hold it up. As much as I don't like the idea, perhaps this will be useful in creating items for us. I don't know what items it could create or who could even create from it. But this might be a key. And then he would put it back in the bag and you would see Riot put his hand in the bag and all of a sudden just vanish bag without getting any larger or anything.
When we
Even-
were... Continue.
Well, I was gonna say, even breaking the ore apart might even suffice, of just being ruidium, its natural compound, might even be enough to get us through. But you said at the end, people were there and they were fading, but Julian, if he wasn't there towards the end, he has the dagger, so he has a thing imbued with ruidium, but he wasn't there at the end. It was me and Xena who made it the furthest, and then you, after us.
We're the three people. Originally, you had the dagger, but perhaps you get it again eventually. I don't know, but we are the three wearing or have items that allow us to breathe underwater currently, and that is why we got farther. Even with me wearing the manta ray cloak, I still died.
Well, it was just a dream. That's all.
Sadly, our dreams have becoming more reality in some ways than not.
I think
Well,
it's...
rather than reality, maybe it should serve as a warning. Just that we need ruidium stuff in order to survive down there. To
Well,
breathe the water down there.
No,
Or
this
make it
is
through
all.
the darkness.
This is all speculation. It
is
goes
just
against
speculation
everything
for
you
now.
were arguing against me last night. So it was a dream.
I think it's time
We
to
don't know
get on
for
with
sure.
our day.
I think that somebody here should go say hello to our neighbor because I still don't know his name.
Sure. And Riot, were you able to make anything with your Dust of Deliciousness that we might be able to offer him?
You want to pass me some of the food that you have?
Sure. Yeah, she passes you a ration.
Oh, you have a ration. He'll hand it back, and Riot picked up some couple of baked goods, and he'll just put a little sweet honey cake and just put a little bit of Dust of Deliciousness on it and passed it to you. So that'll be one dose that's gone.
Thank you.
I was gonna say,
she.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
you go.
No, you.
No.
Okay, fine. I was gonna say, like, if we're gonna stop by and, like, cook a meal or anything, like, do we all want to, like, make it seem, like, more realistic, like we're trying to sell this? Like, should we just hop around the corner real quick and just say we grab some materials, like we're gonna cook for ourselves, but like, hey, we'll cook for you too, neighbor, to sell it? Okay, fuck it, I'll just say I
Sure.
did it.
But I agree.
I
But I
think we-
agree that Zeno should probably stay in the room.
Can you ration meats to make a meal?
Yeah, but do you want to eat, like, jerky all the time? Like, we're in a city, like, we can have a nice meal.
I could cut up the jerky and make bacon out of it.
That shit's already
Or
dry as
something.
fuck.
Please don't overcook my meat.
Well, I mean, the stuff you guys want to go to on a shopping trip to get food first and then come back to him. Because I don't have anything that is for food. I have my good berries and some sweet cakes.
I think the sweet
Yeah, I'll
ones are
just-
enough, honestly.
If we can just fast line, like, beeline that, just be like, I'm gonna hop around the corner, just grab, like, some
You
eggs.
spent a golden
bread,
half
like,
on
whatever.
breakfast, yes.
Thank you.
There we go.
I have stuff.
Yay. Okay, onward. Okay,
Okay.
we have our ingredients. Riot is cooking up a storm. Who's coming with me to knock on the door?
I'm right there already.
Yeah.
Knocking?
Knock, knock,
I knock on the door.
I'll come
Knock.
with you as well.
No, you're coming.
Yeah, Julian, come.
Few moments pass, seconds. You wait. You hear steps approaching the door. You know, leather boots upon stone from the other side. the turning of a key, the unlatching of a latch. The door swings fully open inwards, and standing there in front of you is the elf. Oh, guten Morgen. How can I help you?
Well, we were just, well, apologies. We're your neighbors. We were coming in here through the night, and I don't know if you heard all that ruckus that was happening. We just wanted to check in, do our neighborly duties, and make
I
sure you were
heard
okay.
that. What was that? That was weird.
Well, turns out that this area is going downhill, and there was a bunch of thieves who tried to break into our house, our apartments last night.
Yes, that was very concerning when I heard the people across the door for me. I think they made the right move to move out, and, well, I cannot afford such luxury. This is the only place I have to stay here. So I just double lock my doors and hope for the best. It smells delicious. What's that you have there?
Well, we were just coming back from doing our shopping this morning, but we thought, because we're also sort of new to this city and everything, that we should also maybe try to reach out and see how
That
you
is
know,
a
the
wonderful
locals are.
idea. How nice of you. Very hospitable. Very rare around these parts. Come in. Sorry, I don't want to hold you in the baking stand. Do come in. I'll just clear some space on the table here. And you see him sort of work his hands quickly, just moving things aside. You hear the clinking of some glass. It's hard to clear the entire mess, so he sort of shoves a lot of things into like one corner of the table and just puts like a drapery over it, so it's just not an eyesore. And I shall put on a kettle, and yeah, it's like potluck. This is very nice.
Yeah, well, we have a couple people with us.
The more the merrier. I have seats for 6.
We have another
Me and
2
my-
joining us.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I seem to recall seeing you somewhere before.
Well, I was going to say, you do look familiar as well. Perhaps I saw you under the large tree over by the chateau, under Melora's branches.
I do frequent that spot often. It is quite a reeling spot, yes, but no, that's not it. The robes. I mean, clearly you're of the Cobalt Soul. Were you in the temple? Right,
we've
no,
been in
remember,
the
you were
temple
with a group that I spoke before. I remember you.
No, we were there as well. I'm pretty sure we saw you there. For as large as the city is, it's quite a small world, though.
It is.
But no, us two are a part of the Cobalt.
I must say, your high Zemnian accent is quite well refined. It is nice to hear a little sound of home. And you see it begins to pull teeth enough for whoever's coming in.
Yeah, well, so much of the accent came from my father's side. Mother was not so much, but it's not as prominent as sometimes people say it is.
Nick, can you make a promise for me? Can you do me a German accent for like 2 seconds just for me?
Oh yeah.
Like all of a sudden, Melina
I don't
comes
know
into
how
this
to-
guy's house like, oh yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Guten Tag. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
No.
Get your lederhosen.
Yeah, let me get some Lederhosen.
Well, wir Namen is Ophidas. This is a pleasure. Laurin Ophidas.
It's also nice to see someone from the other side of the pond make their way all the way out here. I still have yet to encounter someone all the way from the Empire. Where exactly?
His name is Laurin.
No. What part of the Empire do you come from?
That would be Rexatrum, the capital.
Oh, that's where I'm actually from too, but the city south of it. Fuck, what's the name of it? God damn it.
Your own backstory.
Yeah, I don't remember it because I don't
Yeah.
fucking use it.
It's the
The city with all the
thing.
silver in it.
Oh, the mines,
Luden-
yes, the
Luden
mines to the
Grove.
south. I've heard
Yeah.
of it. The name eludes me. I'm not so much. I don't linger with village folk. He doesn't say it like in a higher than thou. He just says it like I come from a different sort of crowd.
Yeah, my fucking shit's not loading.
It's
But,
kinda-
Ludendrove.
Oh, Ludendorff. Ah, Ludendorffen.
And then as Julian makes his way in, anyone else coming in?
Riot's cooking up a storm, right?
Yeah.
Cook
So
some
Nia,
food.
would, as she saw him trying to clear his table for space, and she'd be like, "No, it's okay. We definitely don't want to disturb your studies. As you said, we are scholars ourselves, and we can definitely appreciate how your work can definitely take over your living space, and definitely understand that we don't want to get in the way of that." Um, and then after
You're
that,
not into it. I haven't had guests since I first arrived here. I'm more than glad to have guests. How do you have your tea? Sugar? Other things in it? What's your preference?
a little bit of honey.
Honey. I might have some of that. He grabs a jar of what looks to be some sort of a nectar syrupy fluid, what looks to be sugar, and just pours a little bit into each cup. Sweet tooth. I like that. This is pleasant. This is nice. He takes a seat at the table, dragging some of his food with him, but, helping himself to whatever he brought.
As everyone makes their way in, things are kind of just being brought in and all that such. Before the door is closed, she's gonna say, "Excuse me, there's just one more. Hold the door," and then she's going to have her eyes go white, and then she's gonna call Kane to have him kind of slither up the stairs. She's gonna reach down her hand, and then Kane's gonna go like into her robes and everything.
Ooh, that's interesting trick there, Herr Squint. I do like that. I always liked exotic to plain touch. You guys have a showmanship to your craft. Oh, and who's this little guy as he slithers in?
This is my companion, Kane. Loyal to me. Never to do any wrong. And, yes, we just say that.
Precious little thing. It is so peculiar. A snake. Curious choice. Forgive me, I just don't like to leave my door open. He snaps his finger and with a bit of thaumaturgy closes it. You hear it lock.
Nice. With everything going on, and he's clearing off all his stuff. The stuff that he was doing the night prior, is that out? Is that all closed up and not
From the
in
corner of
room,
her eye,
or is
you
it...
can see it's on the desk here. Yeah.
Okay, but it's all not bound by chains or anything. It's just in the open.
It's an open. The quill is resting in its inkwell. The letter is drying out, sort of thing. You can see a little bit of sand has been sort of put on the letter to let it soak into the ink to let it dry.
So all the way from the other side of the world, what brings you all the way out here? Why, by the Crystal Chateau and all the temple out this way? We have plenty of locations in Rectitrim, that being one of the largest ones for the library. Anything special? Traveling?
We are friends, yes.
I would say so.
Well, truth be told, let's just say that I fled to safety. I served under King Dwendal for many years as Lord of the Cerberus Assembly. I worked under Lady Vestrogna, Erzmagier of Antiquity. I admire the Erzmagier, and I seldom saw eye to eye. A bit two sides of the coin. And I knew my genius would forever go unappreciated. It was fated forever to remain in Drogna's shadow. So I left, fled the conclave so far as a ship could take me. I would lie if I said I left on good terms with Drogna.
They were unappreciative of your talents, of what you can offer them.
Precisely. We each have potential.
What was that exactly?
Potential. A potential for growth. They want to keep me stunted. Cut away from reaching my full powers. I find that other regions of the world are more welcoming, especially of a man of my talents. I simply have to find them.
Well, I'm looking up an item really quick.
Alas, in the eyes, he has a staff in a corner of the room if you're looking for it, by the way. The serpent staff is in one corner of the room.
What corner?
Sure, let's... Do I have the staff as a... Let's say he's like in this corner over here. It's like within view behind him.
In the vase.
Sure, it's like an umbrella stand for his staff, yeah. Sure.
Fuck, I forgot.
What if...
Go ahead.
What if we knew people who would be more appreciative of your talents? What is it exactly that you're offering?
It's seldom do people excel in the arcane arts, I would say, compared to majority. I offer that services of an arcane caster, one who with connection to the Vive.
Vivi?
This wants to live.
Who is this you're speaking about, if I may? These connections of yours.
Well, I was gonna say, Julian, do you want to take it or?
Ones who are hidden behind. Out of sight. You understand there's some
do not understand. You're
discretion.
being awfully coy. I'm sorry.
You must understand there's some discretion, of course, with these matters.
Well, I appreciate discretion. I would lie if I said I left in good terms, and alas, in the eyes of the assembly, I am somewhat of a loose cannon, and a risk to das Empire. No doubt the assembly shall keep pursuing me, so anybody who can shelter me in such regard, I would appreciate. I thought you were, to be honest, agents sent by them to capture me when we first met. Especially there was one amidst your number, a fellow Grohasian, who unnerved me somewhat.
Skin,
Yes, that one.
amber eyes, more of a tall, gaunt-looking man.
I mean, looking amongst you, you can scan the room, looking toward Nia, the Dragonkin, toward the Tabaxi. You can never tell of a person based on who they look like, who they are. I'm still skeptical about you. I would like to think we are friends. But, again, I'm not too sure. What is it you offer?
Well, as a gesture of friendship, first of all, my name is Nia. I think the first step for friendship is exchange of names.
I've mentioned my name. I'm Laurin Ophidas.
I needed to get it out because I didn't hear it, and I wanted to make sure that somebody asked, because we went 3 sessions without ever asking this guy his name.
I've spent the last few days seeking out sanctuary. If I could seek out those capable of providing protection, I could vanish forever from the sight of the assembly and carry out living. So, what precisely is your offering?
Well, protection can always be offered. We have a little bit more of special privileged clients that we also like to work with, not just the library and such. And Tom, for the life of me, I'm so sorry that I forgot to do this before because I was just thinking. Would I still be able to carry out the part of my plan where I cast the Sending Stone message to question and have whoever scry on me?
You can excuse yourself from the table at this point.
Okay.
We're sort of, we can't roll back time like that. Same part of your plan that you want to disguise yourself as a cultist, right?
So you're gonna go check on Zeno. Just be like, Melina, Nia would kind of like, as Laurin mentioned that we had another companion, Nia would look towards Melina and could see that she was fidgeting with something and be like, Melina, do you think that you could go check on Zeno? I know he wasn't feeling well. I think that he needs to get checked on.
Well, seeing as he's not able here to make it, then I'll excuse myself from the table and see how he's, doing. As far as our clients, we can talk a little bit more about that. But excuse me one sec, I do want to check on him. Then she's just gonna get up, excuse herself.
Do you mind? He says before you leave, pointing at your familiar. I do find a fascination with these creatures.
Yeah, he can stay.
Yeah? You seem like sort of extend out a hand and sort of like offer it palm up to the snake. A curious behavior, because most people would shy away from poisonous snake and such, but he sort of like puts his hand, finger scraping the top of the table, as if waiting for the snake to slither up. Is he friendly?
He doesn't bite, not if you provoke him.
It is not often we provoke them.
See,
Gillian gives him an encouraging smile and nod.
Sure.
You're not creepy at all.
Can you have
yes.
Do you have control of the poisonous snake? Stat block?
Yeah, I have it open on a different.
Can you roll my charisma saving throw?
Oh, that. Poison snake. His charisma. His charisma is a 3.
Okay. 1d20 plus 3. Cool.
19, jeez.
No, proceed. I was just doing something. Okay. I was just looking to see if you have control over the snake. Alright, cool. Who's having tea?
Riot would, as he's bringing food over to the table, it'd be like a variety of eggs, meat, some fruit, some
You know,
toasted bread and
the cups were already assembled with the tea already brewing in them, sort of thing. So you just don't see just put some on the tray and brings them over, one for each.
Naya would. Naya would grab the cup that Laurin put the honey in that she requested it, and would kind of just bring it up to her nose and take a big sniff as if she's really enjoying the scent. But in that large brush, she would try to see if she could detect anything off with it, if they're for poison or.
What are you doing to detect poison?
Can I use a medicine check on that?
Just.
I thought you were saying.
The question is yes. The answer is yes, but I'm asking you, what is your character doing to detect poison? Are you just staring at your cup?
No, she took a big sniff of it. She has it up to here, and she's
olfactory.
Taking
Okay.
in the steam.
So now we have perception check.
Perception.
Yeah.
For Riot, because he said bring the tray over. Is he watching Riot right now, closely?
He's stoned to you. Yeah, he was like, bring the tray over, one for each.
Okay.
Even though
Riot
she has
will-
amazing passive.
Riot will bring it over,
It's the lore.
and as he goes, he'll go around behind the guy and put a little bit of, just in case he doesn't eat the cake, he's going to put a dose of dust deliciousness into one of the tea and just start handing out tea. But the one that he puts the dust of deliciousness, he'll put in front of the guy and just hand tea to everybody.
Gesundheit, thank you. Danke.
What kind of tea is it? Is it a sweet tea? Is it?
Sorry, the
sour
door
tea?
for you, honey. I'm sorry, I forgot. He slaps his finger and opens the door for Melina.
Yeah, she's gonna step outside.
Yeah.
She's just gonna go see what Zeno's doing, check in with him, and then say, "Hey." First, she's gonna cast her message of sending and everything. I put it in chat.
25 words.
And
Okay.
then, yeah, it's less than 25. And then, tell Zeno, be like, Zeno, if you would, he is aware of you and he knows that you're with us. But if you'd like to go across the street, and then that way we can try to engage in a conversation and to kind of feel him out with you. He feels that if you're someone trying to hunt him down, like he's fleeing actively from the service assembly, it seems. So we can play into that a little bit more and make it seem like he's trying to, you're trying to hunt him or something, and we're trying to help.
Oh, you're coming to talk
you.
to me. Me, I'm just here by myself, hanging out. You're over there making good friends. I'm over here with this red hand, trying to solve it by myself. With that, I do want to cast Detect Poison and Disease to see if that I can figure out this corruption on my hand.
Not a poison, not a disease. What else does it do? For the you can sense the presence of location of poisonous creatures. Diseases within 30 feet of you, not within sight. You do detect several poisonous creatures. Well, several. You do detect something ping across the wall. I suppose because it doesn't have to be within line of sight, apparently. But looking at your hand, no poison, no disease on your hand.
Fine. I'll go. You're gonna kick me out, my own little spot. I was comfy, but
1 foot of stone. Never mind.
I'll play into this bit. I'll go over there, do what everybody wants to do. Oh, and by the way, your best friend over there, he's probably poisoning you. Have fun with that.
1 foot of stone.
Did question just use the spell? Her response for the spell?
Well, she can respond back. You hear back, "Oh, hello, Maria. How are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, sounds exciting. Yes, I would like career. Yes, exciting. Woo!
Doop a loop.
Doop doop ba doop da doop." I'm just using up the last 25 words. I don't know.
Before Melina goes back, yeah. However, Xeno wants to play into it. If he just wants to listen in, or however,
Where'd he go?
Go from that.
Sure.
Yeah, where did he disappear to? But she'll come back, close the door.
Thank you.
Our other member is not going to be really joining us. He needs to get some fresh air, and I think he's had a lot to deal with. Food and drinks seem delicious. But getting back to where we were talking about, apologies, it's in my nature to ask kinds of questions and information. You said you were playing the Cerberus Assembly, and being of the fellow arcane arts, I mean, I can only imagine what kind of power and stuff that they hold in there. They didn't realize your potential. I mean, what was it that you were trying to achieve?
They disagreed with my methods, as I find that Ankarel offers all sorts of groups that are much more of open mind, so to speak. But we do not know each other, so you would forgive me if I remain as coy as you seem to be.
No,
Let's just say that I disagreed with my methods. Sometimes you must cross certain lines in order to achieve the full potential of the magics and experimentations. After all, the people of Aor, the distant city of ancient times, did not achieve greatness by committing only to deeds of good.
No, I agree. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Good
People
and
who
evil.
are scared to ask these questions and to reach out into that darkness and to fear the unknown. That's what we need to get over. And it just kind of starts playing into that a little bit.
Mhm.
With that, the man you saw us with, though, and again tying back into our clients, he's been with us for a little bit of time now, though, but well, to be honest, I think your suspicions were kind of in the right. We've also had ours. It seems like he is hunting. Part of the blood hunters, it seems. Reeks of dog. Where's Zeno right now?
I walked sort of where you had suggested, and my back is just leaning against the wall, arms crossed, 1 foot up, just glaring like a pouty child. Was told to go to timeout, it feels like.
Are you out front here to the left? Or are you on the other side?
The other side.
Oh, I meant for you to have you out here so she could like.
Okay. Then I'll do that.
Play
If
out.
that was the message you were telling me,
Yeah,
I would
sorry.
go there. Okay. No
Sorry, I
worries.
meant in front of here.
Yeah. I gotcha. I'll do it right there.
Melina, roll me.
Yeah.
Okay, you feel a sensation familiar, somewhat. Now that you've had some practice with it, somebody's trying to watch you. You feel like eyes at the back of your neck. You have a choice of letting it in or trying to resist.
I let it in.
The sensation persists, intensifying. Riot, as you're approaching the desk, closer, like he's just like, come sit down. No, do not touch it. That's my personal belongings. Come now. And he reaches all the way with extending out his arm with the tip of the staff and just sort of flips the book close onto the pages. Sit. Come on. Don't be rude. Snooping
Well,
around.
I've been serving you food. I just saw something there. I just literally was wondering if we need an extra table because you have a large table with a lot of stuff on here. I just didn't know if that was a
Grab the
movable
table then. Do not gawk at my belongings. Sly little
Right, we'll actually
cat.
bring the table over and hand him the book.
Danke.
Honestly,
This
for
one's
the
not.
wisdom save, it doesn't actually say. It just says it's a wisdom save. I don't know if it's my DC. I even googled
look.
Dust of Deliciousness.
I'll look it up. Go on, carry on.
I've been practicing as somewhat of a chef, so I hope you like everything that's here. Is there something that you would like to eat, for me to make? Like, I'm pretty good at cooking stuff. I'm traveling here just simply to see if I can find family, and these fellows here just have been helping me and guide me. Right, what's my DC? Yep, 15.
And
So it is my DC.
Remind me, Riot, what does Dust of Deliciousness do when I fail to see exactly? What's the wording on it? This will change how I interact with you.
have disadvantage on wisdom saving throws.
That's
For the
it?
next hour.
It's not a charm or
For
anything?
1 hour. Nope, just said disadvantage on all wisdom saving throws. Ability checks and saving throws for 1 hour.
No, noted. Okay.
And
Advice-
also,
yeah.
if you eat more than 1 dose, it gets harder by 5.
Yeah, I got it. Seems to blink a few times, sort of zoning out from it before he repeats himself. Please, you're making me nervous. I am under anesthesia. Sit down. Let us get to know each other. Truly.
Riot will sit down and look at him and be like, well, I'm Riot. I come from Menagerie Coast.
Oh.
I come up by that mountain that is a northeast
Starhouse?
of
The, the Concordian North. Starhouse.
if that's what they call it, we call it the Burning Mountain.
It's the same. I've heard of it. We have a very strict curriculum in the Rexentrum Academy. Geography not being my strong suit, but I did hear about it. It's nice to meet a fellow Concordian. He goes through the motions of dining with those at a table. A few moments of awkward silence here and then as he nervously looks around the room. You note that he keeps on checking on Riot to make sure he's not slipping into like the drawers or desk or anything.
Riot would look at Naya and just give a small nod and smile at her, and then Riot, if there are any drawers on his side, Riot can't help but he'll just pull it out, just look at see what's inside. You have so many nice things in here. Like, where did you get them all?
Let's not be rude and go through someone's stuff here. This is
I'm
his
sorry.
place after all.
Riot.
It's just
Julian's gonna.
Go ahead, Rob.
Sorry, continue.
there's a lot of little things around here. Like those bottles, they're super shiny. Like the way the light hits them, I can't help. I kind of just want to pick up some bottles right now.
Let's
Yeah.
practice restraint.
Just be careful not to break them.
Julian's
I
gonna.
simply practice a bit of alchemy on the side now and then. Nothing too.
You just see Riot going like this on the table and just trying to keep his hands to himself, but once in a while they're just randomly just go around. Is there anything on his person that's extremely shiny or that might stand out to Riot?
I mean, he's wearing
Pickpocket
facial
one.
jewelry that extends from his nose to his ear, from his ear to like sort of lacing around his neck, very polished gold and gems and stuff. He's wearing what looks to be like a wristband that seems to coil in an Ouroboros shape, winding like in loops around his one hand, bejeweled. A ring with like a symbol of like 3 triangles sort of facing toward the center. The 3 spires of the Rexentrum Academy.
Any weapon on him? Any belt? Anything like
He has a
that?
dagger strapped to his hip. Barely visible,
Really?
like, between his robes.
Okay. Alrighty. Right, and yeah. Riot will send a message to Julie and say, in the mental is like, he's affected by the dust. Tell Naya to use her charming spell or her charm.
Julian nods his head, and then Julian will say to Laurin, Laurin, of course we can't just welcome anybody within our midst. And then telepathically he'll say to Nia, ask him what his allegiances are and who he's looking for while casting suggestion.
Receiving all of the telepathic and other types of body language from her team, Nia would begin talking to Lorian and just being like, I know we're a strange bunch, but we're really not so bad once you get to know us. And we're affiliated with all kinds of groups. We've adventured quite a bit, and we've gotten to know a lot of different groups. And in that conversation, she would begin to build and weave the suggestion of we know a lot of groups, but could you tell us some about a group or affiliation that you currently have in this city, and what we might be able to do to help you in your flight or protection?
As Nia's words sort of reverberate, laced with magic. Suggestion is purely verbal, isn't it?
Yes.
Well,
for me, it's purely verbal.
is it?
For everyone.
Yeah, here I'll post it.
Neat. Right.
It's verbal and M. I don't know what M stands for.
Material.
Material. So you bring out a little bit of like honey, smearing it on your lip, maybe or something like that. And as your magic words lace toward him, he blinks for a moment and then says, with a smile, "Well, that depends. Did Our Lady send you?"
What did he
Is this
say?
thieves' cant of some kind? Would I know what he's talking about?
Did Our Lady send you?
Nia would play along at this point, just trying to get the right information and be, as I said, we know a lot of people and a lot of connections, so you tell us.
Well, you am being watched. Come here. As we join in drink and prayer. I am glad to see somebody weaving words. A talent of the snake, of the serpent's tongue, a gift. For Zahir's coil strengthens. I did not expect your arrival, but with eyes upon me, I welcome you. I see that perhaps I could use the likes of you, somebody of the silver tongue. Our plans is already in motion. But you will find the others gathered by the palace gates. We have confirmed that Vosk's cell is located within Scarlet Obliette. I know. I already made the save.
I was gonna say, and just adding on and feeding to it a little bit more, that it wasn't so much by chance that we were running into each other all the time. We've had our eye on you for a little bit, and you seemed promising, but making that connection was a little bit harder. And then pointing to Zeno outside, as I was saying earlier, that man, you were right in confirming your suspicions that he is, we believe, hunting you. Smells of wet dog, the hunters who abide by this type of hemocraft magic. It's foul, but maybe something could be learned from it. But I think not you and I, all of us here have a mutual understanding. By day, we walk around and we pose as, who we appear to be. But in the trying to appeal to like the commandment of killing slowly, agonizing, or worse, make them enjoy it. Like this is kind of what we're doing, like infiltrating, kind of like by day we're these people, at night, Zahir.
Although I'm just confused about which one was.
You invoke. I'm gonna turn.
8 to 35.
If Megan's gonna be.
Meg,
Mute yourself if you're talking to other people. I'm gonna turn it down for now. Mentioning Zahir. Sorry, Nick, I didn't catch the last part. You're invoking the commandments.
No, just kind of like, he's already said Zahir's name and then like his little plan and everything. Just building more rapport with him by killing slowly, agonizing, or worse, make them enjoy it. That we're kind of like slowly building upon this plan, and we want to recruit you. We've been watching you, and then with Zeno outside.
So you're saying you want to recruit him, implying you're part of the cult of Zahir.
Yeah.
Roll deception with disadvantage.
Riot, to assist with this, will actually say, I might be nosy, but sorry, I gotta
mute her.
I can't.
Well, I turn her down. Like she's not muting herself, so I just turn
muted her for now.
Yeah.
Riot will stand up. Is like, I'm sorry for being nosy, but maybe this is the way to show you. Riot will actually turn into an Egyptian poisonous snake slowly as he leans onto the table and shapeshift into a snake and just sit up and go.
Neat. Roll me deception normal. He just made your disadvantage deception into an advantage, but you got sending him a mixed message. I don't know if you missed it, Nick, but he just told you like he wasn't expecting the likes of you to show up and aid him, implying that he's in with him already. And you're telling him like, "Oh, we're gonna recruit you," as if you didn't know that he was already there.
I missed that part.
So
I thought that's why I was trying to. No offense, I'm trying to decipher what was said there because it's written with an accent.
I will get rid of the accent for the sake of narrative, just because you are Suzemnian. I was trying to immerse in character, but that's all right. But go ahead and roll me deception. It's not a big consequence. I'm just progressing the branching path here. You are lying after all, either way. So, charm. The suggestion definitely helps you. Nia's action definitely helps you with lowering the DC, but you didn't even need that lowering. You rolled 20 there. Awesome. And with Riot assuming his snakely form, he charmed by the suggestion spell smiles at the apparent allies in his midst with a smooth motion of his hand. One by one, he closes the window curtains, and you hear the door lock once more as he sort of archaically engages his security measures and says, Zahir's coil strengthens. I did not expect your arrival. But with my... He actually drops the accent, actually. In game.
Nice.
Zahir's coil strengthens. I did not expect your arrival, but with eyes upon me, I welcome you lot. But our plans are in motion, and we can drop such coities. I was waiting for you to arrive sooner, but I suppose late is better than never. You will find the others gathered by the palace gates. We have confirmed that Vorsk, his cell, is located within the Scarlet Opiate. As for my part, I've delivered on my promise and expect full payment when it is over and things have quieted down. Here, take this. And he hands, in his hands, what looks to be a vial of this grayish liquid within the glass vial where it coated the inside. You can see a thin film of what looks to be like almost like dried cement.
Ryan will like slither up, pick it up out of the hand, and then slither over to Melina and just place it in front of her.
He doesn't flinch. He's so used to being around poisonous snakes. I've been able to synthesize enough to poison a single creature. A single dose. You'll have to strike fast and strike true. The poison is potent for 24 hours, no more. I have full faith in your success. Once you finish your mission and return to Najash Manor, please deliver this to Lady Adeline. Truly, you could have just revealed yourself sooner. Such queer behavior. He reaches over to the book on his lap that he gave him Riot, and he retrieves the letter that was held between his pages and hands you what looks to be like a sealed letter. Najash Manor, exactly. Lady Adeline with a line in this.
And what was it? Najash Manor?
Yeah, Najash.
Sorry, I'm writing all this down.
That's good. It's a lot of information. That suggestion surely help you. Nia's spell lasting all the while she's holding it, so he's even with his advantage, he's charmed.
Riot will go over to like Melina and say to Julian in the head, "Tell her to put the sweet cake next to him, and I'm going to take it over to him."
Knight would do as she's asked.
Wait, you need me to tell her that?
No, Julian.
Oh, Julian.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Julian will
Telepathy.
relay the message telepathically.
Yeah.
And-
Nia would do as she's asked.
And then Riot would pick it up and then slither over and place it on his hand where the vial was, and then go up his arm and just like wrap around his neck, go just like hissing softly.
You're gonna strangle my man?
No. He's just around it gently, just like hissing. And essentially, this, if he does eat it, will make the DC even harder for him to beat. Plus, also, you can ask him other stuff, and the roll is harder for him to beat.
Okay, he doesn't partake in the
That's
food
no
just yet, just so you know, and if you're looking for the C to beat, he's already charmed. You guys...
I know, it was like if he eats it again.
Yeah, okay. Noted. The whole food laying it on the table was like his sort of, to appear normal, Koi theater here. So now that you guys laid out your cards, and he doesn't seem adamant to eat more food. But nonetheless, he does deliver unto you those words. Speaking of what appears to be some sort of an attempt to jailbreak somebody out of the Obliate, somebody named Vorsk. Meeting up with others and striking quick and striking fast. He said that he was expecting you guys earlier, meaning that this battle is probably already in motion.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up my notes a little bit.
That's fine.
Well, with all of that being said and being scryed on, I haven't received a message yet or like kind of any ink. Does scrying tell the person anything?
Scrying is not a messaging medium, no.
just-
Scrying lasts for
okay.
10 minutes to witness an event, and I've been keeping track
Okay.
for in-game time, how much the time has passed since you felt the sensation ping you, sort of thing.
Okay. I didn't know if
The sending
Sura
spell
got
is,
the info she wanted.
well, you send it to question, not Sura, right?
I sent the message to question to
Yes.
tell Sura.
Right,
Sura will scry on me, and then
right.
if Sura or whoever wants to message me
Right.
back, I didn't know if that was coming in yet.
You got a
Seeing
reply back
that-
from question, yes.
Okay.
Seeing that Laurin is no longer
Um,
interested in the food and that he has provided us
I'm
with
trying to
quite a
think
bit
of
of
this
information,
information.
and seeing that it's
Yeah,
rather.
grayish liquid.
Nick, you can turn Megan back
Oh.
up. She's back to speaking with us. Yeah.
Okay.
And sorry
I'm
about
turning
that,
her up
guys.
right now.
I didn't realize that when I mute my headset that it automatically switches to using the audio of my webcam. So I'm
Yeah, that
so
makes
sorry
sense.
about Um. Either way, so given all the information that he's given us, and seeing that it seems rather urgent that we actually take action on it, and that he's no longer interested in eating the food that we have beside him, she would thank him. She's like, "Thank you so much, Laurin." And as
I
a
keep thinking she's
fella,
talking to me.
sorry.
The name is just
Laurin.
too similar. Continue. Sorry.
And given the thank you for giving us the word of the lady, and I think that it's time that perhaps we go and do our part.
Of course. And may Zahir veil you.
She would kind of like give a respectful nod, small bow, however you'd like to gesture it.
With with your familiar wrapped around his staff, he like hands it back to you, Melina, onto your hand.
I'll take Kane, and I'll have him coil underneath my arm, like up in like my upper arm or something, underneath my robes. With I was gonna say, with everything happening here so close, the break-ins with next door and anything, do you have another place of refuge that you think you might want to stay at, or do you want to stay here?
I have my faith in Zahir to veil me in turn. Come, perhaps for your own luck's sake, we should join in prayer. He stoops off, leaning against the staff, and stoops off the chair, and approaches the wine rack, and pulling out one of the wines, reveals like a secret door, like sort of sliding the entire rack sideways. And you can see in a little nook, sort of chiseled into the wall, but well hidden behind the rack, is an altar with this jade statue coiled up and featuring gold gilded head with gilded fangs of this like cobra. And amid it are various candles that one by one he lights the candles and offers you to join in hand and coil in a susurrating prayer to the betrayer god. He seems to rely on faith rather than on guard, and perhaps on a measure of protection from the faction which you have stepped upon just now.
If he's asking for
Julian,
everyone to
well,
take place, then yeah, I mean, before we leave, I'll at least oblige that. It
Right.
sucks, but yeah.
Riot's gonna slither over to the desk and break form. Is there anything on the desk that looks interesting? As we're all bowing
Roll me
our
stuff with advantage. He's not quite looking at you, but you know, everything has a chance of failure.
Stealth with advantage.
Still with advantage as you try to real quick.
21.
21 versus his passive. No. You look throughout. You see a poisoner's kit. A fresh set of parchments, ink, as well as various correspondence to the same Lady Adeline Najash. Najash being her last name. Perhaps the manor belonging to this noblewoman residing somewhere in Ankorel. From the very brief 10 to 15 seconds you manage to read from extract information from it before you have to put it away, you get that she resides somewhere within the Alluvium district, the clay mining district to the north of Ankorel. And you can go through the layers real quick and you see she has requested Ophidas aid in making a poison for some sort of an operation involving an asset within the Scarlet Obliate. In return, Lady Adeline promises Ophidas sanctuary amid her people in a place called the Underridge.
What is it? Clay.
A lot of language.
Are they clay mines? Are they clay mines, you said?
It's the Underridge is not really mentioned beyond a name. It's just a hidden place, veiled by a lot of language she's using. Is a lot of veiling by Zahir. A lot of it is in secrecy, using such a language as if Ophidas already knows what she's talking about. But an arrangement has been arranged for both sanctuary in gold. So perhaps he wasn't lying all along, and there's some truth to what he's saying. Perhaps he is off the service assembly, fled, and has found alternative power here.
Is this like a letter?
Hmm?
Is
Yeah,
this
it's a series of correspondences, a series of letters
Yeah,
sort of
he'll
kept
take
here.
that one letter of proof and put it in his pocket.
Okay, and that's pretty much all you manage before you begin to sense the hair on the back of your neck tingle with that he's about to turn and look at you. The last thing, in the last second, you glance, hidden in the drawers of the desk, is a journal that seems to be bound in such a way as if it belonged in the libraries of the Cerberus Assembly. It is an ancient, like really ancient looking journal. Some of the pages are all like barely held together. And very briefly, carefully opening it just to see what's inside as it flicks through its parchments. You can see it's signed by Vesta Rogna. This was her personal find. And the cover does not feature a title or anything. Nothing but 9 eyes in an arrangement. It is a vile thing, and be it via your sixth sense or otherwise, part of you does not want to touch it.
I'll let it go.
Alright.
I don't want to take it. That's all I wanted.
Perhaps this is the very thing you stole from Vesterogna before fleeing. But other than that, you take the correspondences before, the rest of the party is doing their best to distract him as they are joined in a susurrating sort of vibing from side to side, a very dark kumbaya prayer.
Kumbaya.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, like before he turns around, right, we'll just do like a little like this and just like a little like silent prayer to Malora to protect them, and then he'll just turn around from the desk.
The devout Christian entering a Satanist house, like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Help me!
A little bit of that, as he alters the name every time, a little bit of that candlelight flickers down a little bit, as if the very presence of the snake is with you.
You know, like that old like like spitting away the evil.
Spitting away, make a little gesture against the evil eye, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Right. The only thing, the rest of the party, as you guys join him in his communion, you see him open up another one of those vials with what looks to be like a white liquid, like liquidizing stone-like lithid material crystallizing on the edges. He opens it and into the cup of tea he just made for you, drops a few drops, partakes himself, and offers it to you in a sort of a gesture of, we partake of the poison, we partake of the blood of Zahir, in a sort of a communion. What do you do?
Julian's gonna send a telepathic message to everyone. Melina, Nia, and Ryan say there's no reason not to apprehend him now at this point, right? We have all the proof that we need.
But if there is a plan in motion, if he's taken down now, we could jeopardize that.
How's he gonna tell anyone else?
We don't know what signals are in place that he could have some fail-safes in there. He could have to report to someone in the process. We don't know what the chain of command is exactly. We just know that something is happening. And we know where now and who. But we don't know if there are any conditions that need to be met for the plan to I think, sorry.
I'd say we just knock him unconscious. We know where this Lady Adelaide is. We know what they're trying to do. We're trying to bust somebody out of the Scarlet whatever.
I think that from what we've seen here, he's not going anywhere right now, and we can always maybe leave some kind of, I don't know what I guess the range on Kane is pretty short.
I say just knock him unconscious now, while the door to like this hidden cult thing is open. Tie him up, and
Does
then
anybody have sleep?
go out and report him to the guard.
Lena, do you do anything while your friends awkwardly staring in silence at him, like offering them the communion cup? And he's beginning to like show like signs of a suspicion of like you there refuse communion?
No, I'll take the cup and
Drink the juice.
Yeah, drink the juice.
Drink the
Are you
juice.
drinking my Kool-Aid, Nick?
Yeah, I'll drink the Kool-Aid.
Cool.
Right, will tell telepathically to Julian, I can cure poison right now. I have 3 cures.
Yeah, Nia would also grab the cup. Also, through the telepathy of Julian to Melina, if we want to apprehend him, we should do so in a very discreet manner. And if I remember correctly, Melina has the spell sleep.
I don't have it.
You don't have it?
No.
Why do we need to do it in a discreet manner? Why not just do it now?
Melina partakes of the cup, and Ophidas takes the cup back and offers it to you, Julian.
Julian will grab the cup with one hand.
I'm trying to figure out how do I do such a thing.
You can toggle it within settings and such.
Yeah.
What's Zeno doing right now while I'm gonna pan the camera one more to Zeno. What's this cool kid doing over here that's pulling a full-on Julian for some reason?
Very much a pouty attitude. Now I'm witnessing that everybody's drinking from cup. They're all partying.
The curtains have been pulled, my guy. They've been pulled like 10 minutes ago. So that's why I'm asking you. The curtains? I know it's not on the map because I'm giving you something to look at. But the curtains have been pulled ever since they turned into a giant snake and stuff. He pulled the curtains up inwards.
I missed that.
It's okay.
I missed that. Okay.
So it's been like about 10 minutes since then. What are you doing?
Shit. I want to go shopping. Can we roleplay that?
Fuck off! Come on. I go take a nap in another inn across town. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. So with that, I was like,
my party Jamestown himself. What's the worst that can happen?
There's no point to me just standing here. I did my part. I don't know. I guess I just walk around the building. I have no purpose. At this point, what I would actually do, I'm going to go back. With the curtains closed, a long way, as stealthy as I can back in, and I would head back into our room. Maybe get a cup. You know the whole trick. You put a cup against the wall, see what I can hear, what I can listen to.
Okay, you hear susurrating, snake-like language, the abyssal tongue of Zahir, as in a chant. Foreign voice is sending forth prayers that I think you speak Abyssal. We recognize to be to the commandments of Zahir. The slow poisoning of the world, manifested material. Does Julian take off the cup, or is he still thinking about it?
Julian's gonna take the cup with one hand, and he'll pretend to be going along with it. He's gonna situate himself next to Laurin. Laurin. He's gonna sneakily sort of like slide his other free hand toward his dagger as he's communicating to the rest of his party. Like, there's no reason not to do it now. We have all the evidence we need. We can literally just tie him up afterwards.
The cup.
Wait, what?
While pretending to sip the cup, you're about to like, there's no reason not to do it. Stab him now. Roll me performance, I guess.
As he's about to sip from the cup, Julian's like pretending to go for it for himself, and then like at the last second he'll attack him.
Okay,
I guess I'll roll
cool.
Performance.
Guys, roll for initiative.
I'm gonna banish Julian.
You're gonna do what?
For real?
What'd you say?
I will fucking banish you if you attack him.
Why?
I'm gonna
Why are you
cast
attacking him?
person on you if you start to attack him.
What?
We're just supposed to observe and report.
Yeah.
I don't think we should take action against him. It's not. That was not part
Why
of our
not?
mission. It's not part of our mission.
Yeah, because what's her face? Sura's watching us. She's getting all this information because she wanted us to see what exactly he's doing. Blah blah blah. We've confirmed he's part of Zahir cult. We have this little task that he's doing with his poisons. That's enough for a conviction, and she's seen the altar and all this stuff. So it's like, boom, that's a ton.
Riot would have also told you he has evidence incriminating him.
Yeah, he's got everything incriminating this guy. So there's no. We would just report back, be like, "Hey, Sura, you saw everything. Blah blah blah. Fucking, hand of ore to go apprehend this guy, and then we can also choose whether to go on this path as well and seek that out.
Yeah.
But it's up to you.
So as you're deciding whether or not to attack him, if you're not attacking him, I'll have you roll to fake drinking it, or you can not have to risk it and risk drinking it. It's your call. It's whatever you want to do.
Drinking it.
Okay.
I'm not drinking this thing.
I'm going to give
Drinking
you
it.
performance or deception. I feel like it's more a deception role. I feel like you'll be better at deception as a rogue. I feel like you excel in that better, but
Yeah.
you tell me, yeah. You're putting on theatrics either way, so whichever one you feel you want to use.
Ooh.
Well, hold on. This
I'll
is
use a
psychic. Die.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'll use a psychic die on this. 21.
Okay. What is insight? It's wisdom, right?
Yeah.
I'll open
Yeah,
it.
it's wisdom.
I'm not beating your 14 plus 7, but I want to roll it for. Yeah, natural one. He is so charmed.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, and in the Kool-Aid ritual that you pretend to sip, Julian, as you sip, and the liquid goes back to the cup, you feel like your upper lip become numb, and it's like a stone-like surface, like it becomes lips of marble almost. The other ones who drank, you guys felt uneasy as the liquid went through you. You felt your body fight through it. For a moment, for 5-10 seconds, you felt a little bit feverish as the poison took hold, but then your body just kind of fought it off, and it just felt like your chest was hard. It was hard to breathe, very heavy, as if your very lungs were difficult to expand them out. And then the flesh softened and the sensation eased off. Fair enough. I feel like Riot, you're the only one who did not do the communion, did you? You hadn't
No, and Riot will literally look at him and is like, I have thrown up a couple times this morning already. I'm not going to drink anything else.
It is disrespectful to disrespect the betrayer gods. It is worse not to partake of the communion. My first time was as difficult. You must be new, a neophyte. Consider this an honor. Your body will build up a resistance toward it, and you will inherit the gift of the old ones. And when they return, the gift shall become tenfold. He's very insistent. I'm gonna roll persuasion, I don't know. Drink
I
the
was Silvery Barb.
Kool-Aid!
Silvery Barb!
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Drink the Kool-Aid!
Riot's gonna fake it too. He's not drinking.
You know,
shit.
I'm joking, but he says a single word. Drink.
What do I have to
Well,
roll?
he's
something
only
on this?
11.
What do I have to roll?
Is he actually
It's a wisdom
casting
save.
command?
It's
Yeah.
wisdom.
I have to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just
What's the
is
DC 11?
it
Yeah.
actually 11?
it is actual 11, yeah.
Oh, 14. Sorry, I have advantage on 14.
You can fake it if you want.
Riot's fucking faking this shit.
Yeah.
He's not drinking out of this.
Okay. You can roll deception just like Laurin did. You're not actually
21,
partaking.
natural
Yeah,
20.
Or performance?
you act hypnotized for a moment, and you partake of the drink, and you're like, yes. And you too feel like your whiskers become stoned for a moment, as a little bit of milky substance sort of becomes these marble droplets on either end that weigh your whiskers down a little bit. But you're safe, not poison.
He'll pass it back and wipe off his face and just
You guys are rolling at gods this encounter. That was you guys who rolled a 9 to fail against your suggestion at both times. 9-9. So that was awesome. Consider this a successful encounter as you convince him that you're one of the cult, partook a mission, took some of his correspondence, and he, satisfied with a prayer for good luck, dismisses you and sends you off on your way toward a mission. All that's remaining now, I'm gonna say this as guidance, is remember that Surah said that if he's here to cause trouble, you are to apprehend him. So what do you wish to do?
Oh, forgot that.
You,
I don't remember that.
Julian's like, I knew it.
Yeah, she did. She said apprehend him if needs be.
I don't think
Something along those lines.
scary.
I'm gonna say everything I say out
I can't even
loud in
remember
common
that,
language.
but that was
You know,
just-
you hear across the wall too, with your comp pressed against the wall. So
Can you cast sleep? He's not in our telepathic link.
well,
He's not.
No,
I couldn't see him in the room.
I could just cast banishment on him. We can call for the guards.
There you go.
Do it.
Right.
Just banish him. Just-
Or we could just leave
like
because
as
he's
we're
not
walking
gonna.
out and saying thank yous, Melina just turns around and casts.
I was gonna
They
say, like,
can't-
we could literally just go around the corner, go get guards, be like, hey, dude, there's guys like drinking Kool-Aid juice, really bad kind. Go apprehend him, and then we just bust open the door. He said he wasn't going anywhere.
my
Yeah, like he's not going anywhere, and then it's just like have the hand of Ord do it.
I think it'd be in our best interest that Laurin not know it's us that apprehends him.
I mean, what's he gonna do if he knows?
Well, technically, right now, if we were to get into a scuffle and the guards show up, it would have to be here. Like, if he tries to run or does anything and it goes somewhere else, like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have incriminating. Like, it's
I'll-
just hearsay at that point. So we
I'll
have
add
to lock
I'll
him
add
down
on to that,
here.
Nick. Right now, as it was going through the ritual, through in the whisk of the candles and all that, you noted, without having raw insight, that certain features of his even shifted. He became more gaunt, more pale. You can actually see scales sort of being worked up on the side of his face. His eyes changed, as if by channeling this ritual, he gave up concentration on another spell entirely, and his disguise was falling off. So, in terms of evidence, you have the altar, you have his appearance sort of sloughing off a little bit. I feel that's worth mentioning too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Sort of like elongated
Yeah,
fangs. Yeah.
As Nia, because he opened the door for us. Yes.
Yeah, naturally, yes. Go for it.
As Nia was saying her goodbyes, and as she took a step out of the door, she would kind of not only take a look around and can she spy Zeno somewhere?
Not where you're standing now.
Not
You
where
take
she's standing.
you take a quick look around, sort of walking around back to your apartment where you left him, and he's still there.
I thought he was over here somewhere.
I asked your question. You walk back to your apartment eventually, and you find him there.
In the apartment.
Yeah.
Okay. Naya would, as she's saying her goodbyes, would be like, "It was really good to meet you, Laurin, and I hope you have a really good sleep. As I'm sure these
It's good to
past
meet you
few
too."
evenings, with all of the ruckus that has occurred, it has not come to you."
Don't oversell it.
Is that my cue? Are you cueing me? I come running around and I'm gonna kick the door in and cast sleep.
Yeah, there we go. Go ahead.
Yeah, banish him. It's like, yeah, banish him.
Down with the betrayer gods! And I'm
You go ahead and cast it. What's my DC?
Let me throw it in there.
Well, actually, roll me initiative against him. Is it
Doesn't that
just
affect
you versus him
everybody?
for work? Huh?
Doesn't it affect everybody in an area or something?
Well, it affects everybody starting with the
I think
lowest.
that's first.
I can choose.
Yeah, he can
How much
choose them
roll you get
starting
to?
with the lowest HP, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Your initiative of 17 versus his initiative of So it'll be
12.
12. So you manage to, your spell goes off first before he's like, somebody's at the door. He grabs his staff, and you can begin to see that the tip of the staff begins to like shift and animate, the wood becoming more lithe as it shifts into like the head of a snake and hisses in your direction. But you're already setting your spell off as a whisk of almost like moonlight powder shoots toward him. That will be sleep, eh? Did you roll me the total number? Yeah, 21.
Yeah.
Does not put him to sleep. That does not beat his maximum HP.
I didn't think it would.
At this point, I'll have everybody roll initiative.
I rolled initiative right after. I'm going to cast Hold Person on him.
Well, can we... Unless the party's just going to let you. It's just you versus him, so if the party allows you, I'll allow it too, but... Because it's like, Melina's ruling 27 over there and all that, so...
Okay.
Where's Zeno's initiative every time? Why is it not putting him there?
I don't know.
Yeah. You were what, 17? 17.
Oh, I have to go.
You do?
Yeah, I gotta go.
It's okay.
That's why I was like...
This will take 2 seconds to resolve. It's you versus him. I just want to see how this plays out to see if anybody suffers damage real quick. So we have, like, you guys tell me what happens as sort of initiative goes up. Riot just happened to roll beneath him, so it's only fair that he goes first. But yeah.
Yeah, but it's all up to you guys.
Do you want to go? If you have to go, and we'll just tell you what happens.
Well, I was just gonna say if I went next, I would just polymorph him into a small mouse.
Okay.
So he can escape?
No, that we can pick him up and carry him like by his freaking tail for an hour.
So we can feed him to Melina's familiar.
No, we literally
a lot of places
literally
to
take
hide
him
here.
back to the whatchamacallit for an hour. Like, I mean, Rye can put him in a bag and hold him into a bag, and they just take him back to the Cobalt Soul. It's a wisdom
I'm in the
saving
back
throw.
holding.
Whatever your plan
Give him
is,
the
sure. I
tail.
just don't want to rush this. I don't want to rush a combat encounter because
Yeah, but everybody can go. Go ahead.
We'll see how this plays out real quick. Like, just top of round here, Melina. Like, Nick, what are you?
I catch banishment.
Banishment. What is that? Sort of save charisma.
17 charisma.
Charisma. I don't have much to do against that. Ah! Natural 20.
Silvery barb.
Oh my god.
Don't take his natural 20.
It's fine. It's fun. It's fine. 8 plus a modifier for 9. You attempt to send one creature you can see within range to another plane of existence entirely. Failing, you banish the target to a harmless stem plane. While their target is incapacitated. Okay, cool. So you have like a minute to just act, and you guys watch as he like turns again with his staff toward Melina, trying to like have it bite her, and she just like bamps him out of existence, out of time, out of plane, just Dunamancy rippling out. As for a moment the room goes silent. You guys have like maybe like as much as Melina tells you before he's back. What do you guys do for a minute?
Yeah, it's a minute. Like, let's just call the guards, get him in. As soon as he pops into existence again, you just fucking apprehend him, and boom. Because we have all this time. It's like
I'm gonna say you guys don't
4
have to
or
roll
5 of us.
You don't have to roll persuasion because you bammed them before you could even close the secret passage to his altar or put away things. So in that minute, you can be like, "Hey, guards, come here quick! We have betrayed guards the activity happening in this bitch, right?" And they come in. And they're like, "Oh shit, is that an altar? Oh shit!" Like, and they'll probably question you afterwards, but like evidence will point towards this guy. You'll have correspondence. You have his name. The Marla, the one who like is responsible for the residency here, can be like, "Yeah, this guy like rented a room in this place." So I'm gonna call this mission success without having to resolve, as he bamps back into existence from banishment into the cuffs of the hands of Ford. Sup, Megan? What's up?
Super important question. In that minute, Riot, do you swipe the book?
Yeah, he's taking the book.
Good on you.
The Eyes of 9 book. He's taking
We're going to ice across, baby. All right.
Taking that book. Right.
In that minute, does he have any other valuables?
One at a time, guys. One at a time, guys. What's up?
Riot's going to go through that entire desk, by the way.
Sure. You find the journal. It's very old, very brittle. This book has been around for like maybe like hundreds of years. So you very carefully pick it up and put it into your bag of colding, and the magic will keep it safe from it won't like crash or anything. Colding. Yeah. Aside from that, you don't find much in the desk. There's a poisoner's kit if you want to take it, like vials and other things. A whole poisoner's kit if you want it.
I'll take it and see if because I know Julian has a poisonous kit. I'll take it.
Mhm.
Ryan's just gonna go through as much as he can because he wants to find shinies. He hasn't found shinies.
In the span of time that you have, everything else from that suspected desk seems to have been to veil his sort of existence in this apartment, to make him seem very average. The stuff he covered on the desk with the drapery when he first came in, all that clinky stuff, more glassware for his poisoner kit that's coated in that same film of lithic liquid. It just maybe a failed formula and stuff. You do find something important though. Beneath all that rubble is a single vial that is labeled Master Mix. Master Mix. And it seems to be composed of some green, noxious-looking liquid with the same sort of consistency as monster blood. Green of color, maybe slight shimmer to it. That you find that as well.
All right, so Eyes of Nine. I know he had another book there that his written work. And
just letters, correspondence, really. Yeah.
Okay, poisoners.
Yeah, so that's what you managed to find. Everything else is, cookware, food, provisions, some genuine wine, tea and stuff. But stuff that you can find in any apartment. Really, nothing else stands out of the ordinary. And you would imagine that the altar, everything around the candles, the shinies around the altar, is either heresy. Probably don't want to touch it. Up to you, really. Or will be collected as evidence. So best not touch it.
Really.
Up to your judgment. That being said, Laurin, you said something before this.
Did I? I don't remember.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
you'll remember if it's for it. Okay. So for the sake of wrapping up session, but not rushing everything, I'm gonna say that quest successful. Yeah, stop.
I was asking if did he have like a coin purse or something laying around? Does he have like a bag somewhere?
No.
Was he wearing his bag when he got
No
banished?
money. He did mention he was expecting payment, but he doesn't seem to be carrying any coin on him now.
Take that staff.
He does have the adder staff.
He probably had the staff on him.
He dropped it when you guys banned. Well, I mean, he carried it, but then he appears back with it. So, can you take it?
He would take it out of his hands, so he can't use it on the guards.
Sure, I'll allow it. In the chaos of things, as the guards focus on the man in front of them, and they're summoning backup and stuff, and probably summoning one of those Mage Hunter golems as well, because he's a spellcaster. In all chaos, have it. It's an adder staff. If you're looking for a handout, I can give it to you guys now or later. Up to you guys. If you want to identify it later, but I'll give it to you now. I don't mind.
I'll identify it at some point. We're only just waking up in the morning within the first hour.
It's called Staff of the
Adder.
Adder.
Even after this.
Yeah, Staff of the Adder. Speaking of staffs, but Nick, you still have this Staff of Adornment. You know that, right?
Yeah, I still have it. I don't know. I just have a connection with my wand, and
no, I'm just telling you to still have it in case it ever becomes useful. But here's the Staff of the Adder. Yeah, it's like a Moses staff that didn't get used in combat because you guys charmed my guy. But yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool.
You forgot that you had a bard and a wizard that are both really good at manipulation.
I will definitely review the sort of results of tonight's session come next one. I just want to let Will go because he has to. But we'll definitely pick up next session from the events of Zeno just bursting the door, casting sleep on this guy, and then banishment and all that, acting together. Yeah.
How was the poison, by the way? Taste
I
good?
can't use staff. Only Riot or Belita can use it.
Riot is the new Kree.
I don't know who that is.
But from what your character would know, all jokes aside, let's not do that whole thing where we know, but whatever. Let's not do that to the party. What your character would know is this journal, very old, seemed to have belonged to Vesta Ragna of the Service Assembly, which is a prominent head figure. You and I who know who Donald Trump is, I would imagine that even your character knows who Vesta Ragna is. If not, I can review it next session. Point being, this belongs to her, and this is probably the reason why he was genuinely being chased by the Service Assembly. Why he was calling himself a loose cannon. They were probably genuinely looking for this. So you have the option of keeping this, or giving it back to whom it belongs to, perhaps for a favor. In return, Cerberus Assembly, an assembly of mages, are powerful but benevolent, so it's not unheard of that they give in return for favors done to them. Something for thought for you.
Yeah. Ironically, if I don't give it back, it would totally screw up CR2.
Well, again, yeah. Well, I want you to have an opportunity to be part of it, so this is what we're playing this campaign for, as fans and of the universe and all that. Definitely will give you an opportunity to read through it too if you want. You and the party, you guys can read through it and get the context of why Will and I are laughing right now. But it's nothing secret written in the single language. It's all there in the open for everybody to read.
I want to get the eyes.
Yeah. So all that aside, I hope everybody has fun. Relatively weird sort of path we took with this quest. Not gonna lie, but I'm glad. It came up with your plans. More
We
or less.
did premeditate about it,
Yeah.
and we executed.
We did.
Yeah. Alrighty then.
Thank you for
You said
good
this was a
session. It
weird
was
plan.
fun.
What do you think would have been like?
It's
the
not a weird
normal way
plan.
to go
It's
about
just
this?
a weird way that it branched out a little bit because in between, like, oh, we're you guys neighbors, and I thought you guys were gonna be like off the bat, like, no, we're here as cultists of Zahir. I thought it was gonna be like that, so it was a mix of the two, and I was like, I don't know. It's a good thing it gets charmed because I was like, I feel like I'm schizophrenic a little bit, but it's fine. It was fun for me.
We're just ruining everybody's life at this condo place.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Next.
True.
This neighborhood is going to
True.
shit. Market value's down.
Market
Because
value
of
got
us.
I mean, you're filtering
Now is
out
the time to sell.
the bad and replacing it with the good, hopefully.
We're
Yeah.
basically like better cops than Hand of Ord. We're like, dude, what do you guys do today? We just apprehended thieves in the middle of the night, and we also got
just
a
sitting here
Zahir
like-
cultist. What the fuck are you guys doing? Nothing?
You're stealing this commander's job.
They're dealing
Yeah,
with
the
them.
Commander
step it
sees
up.
us like, you guys again? In like 12 hours?
Why is
Yeah.
it every time something happens, it's always you three? You know?
Yeah.
Fucking-
Hand of Ord
Maybe-
is gonna be like, hey, you guys want a job? You guys are really good.
well, yeah.
Man,
I mean, yeah.
you guys really suck at your job here.
Yeah, give me
What's
my
the
own
hourly
sky
rate?
ship.
What's the weekly rate? What's the...
You get $12.95 starting off. You get night shifts. It sucks.
That's just
Yeah. True, though.
On Corel, the one city in all of the that pays you in dollars. Laurin.
It's $12.95. It's 12 gold and 95 copper.
No,
I
Laurin
don't
was
know.
like dollars earlier in the session. I
Oh.
was laughing.
Doll
The-
hairs.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you
Dollars.
always say dollars instead of gold. It's funny to me.
I probably did accidentally say that when we were talking about the jewel. Like over 100,000 gold.
Yeah. So, but no, I had fun. All jokes aside, it's always interesting with the branching paths. And what matters is that you guys completed the mission.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, indeed.
Does that poison actually do anything?
Well, yeah, you guys just roll high con.
Yeah, we just saved it.
Oh, okay.
tomorrow you die.
Tomorrow. I don't have good con. I'm glad I didn't drink it.
I know I use an accent. It's gonna be a little confusing, Nick. Do you have questions while it's still
Yeah,
fresh in your
I-
mind? I can go over it.
No, I'll have to just watch the video and just pick up on some stuff.
Sure. Just going
Yeah,
over.
no, I don't mind. I don't mind the immersion and everything. It's just I was just having a hard time trying to disseminate through like what he was saying and then what I was like
Nice.
watching on my screen and then just like figuring out my
Just
response.
bullet point is: did the lady send you? Don't linger aside. I'm being watched. Come within. Right. Zahir's call strengthens. I did not expect your arrival, but with eyes upon me, I welcome your help. The plan is in motion. You'll find the others by the palace gates. We have confirmation that Vorsk and his cell are located within the Scarlet Obliate. As for my part, I delivered on my promise and expect full payment when things have quieted down. Right, here's the poison. I was able to synthesize enough to poison for a single dose. You'll have to strike fast and strike true. The poison is poison for 24 hours, no more. It'll have full faith in your success. Once you're finished with the mission, return to Najash Manor, and please deliver this letter that I gave you to Lady Adeline. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
You have picked up from something that you can choose to follow or not. This is just another one of Ankarel's many developments. You know, when you said like, "Oh, I'm sure this like Zahir guy is just a small side quest," I'm like, cannot be. It's whatever you choose. You fulfilled your mission in the eyes of the Cobalt Soul. They can take over themselves. If you'd rather move on to Calamaro and other things.
Yeah, I
Can't
wouldn't
just,
mind
tip
just.
off the Hand of Ward of this information.
I was gonna say there's also
You could.
that we could do.
You could.
I just want to know who the name is exactly and see what the relevance of that is, and then kind of just go from there. Vord.
Vorsk.
Oh, excuse me, Vorsk.
V-O-R-S-K, yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
get fucking dyslexia, and I'm just like, oh, Vord, like Vord of the from Dark Souls 3, and I was like,
I'm sure there's roots.
fuck me.
Because we have a blood hunter among us, and I believe you speak Abyssal, right? Your character speaks Abyssal there, Anthony, right?
Yeah.
Vorsk is an Abyssal
Yeah.
name. It's like a demon's name.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ring ring.
Yeah,
Get going here.
that's fine. We had an eventful session. I'm glad we got a quest done. That was good. I was really worried because I'm not gonna even do that. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this though
we've been
before we
playing
go.
for 2 sessions.
Yeah, before you go, Anthony, I understand
Yeah.
you want to role play into your new aspects of personality and maybe amplify your flaws and stuff. Just know that you don't have to be antisocial. Like, you can remain amicable and with your party. Perhaps if you're looking for tips, you perhaps like expand on some flaws. Like, what are some flaws on your sheet that you have? Do you have your sheet open, or did you already leave?
I do. But are you referring to the fact that I was not in the room?
Yeah.
That's okay. That was part of the plan. I don't mind that. I didn't do that. That wasn't part of roleplay. That was part of our original plan.
More didn't they come in to get you, and you were like, okay, and then like you walked away. I was like, that feels bad.
Well, not really. It's okay.
Alright.
I didn't. I thought it went well. It was like I said, part of the plan. Nick came to get me to tell me to go stand somewhere to play that role as the hunter, and so I did. So I was participated.
Sure. If you're looking for future development, because it's not going away anytime soon, consider your flaw on your sheet, which I'm reading right now, and I'm loving it. Consider a flaw, amplify it, work on it, expose what is the truth behind that flaw, because that is what the ring was done to you. That is it's poking at your flaws, at your weaknesses, and it's trying to use them to become red rage, essentially, right? Maybe those memories surface. Maybe the haunted one memories resurface, right? It's interesting character development that will only make you more interesting for your party, and maybe they'll be able to support you through it, you know?
Yeah.
Rather than being the whole I'm a lone wolf and irritable. I don't know. I was trying to not make your character hateable, you know? Because I've seen that as a DM, and I like your character. I want to see them likable, you know? Anyway, but that's all I gotta say. Everything else I liked about the session was pretty fun. As long as everybody else had fun as well, that's great.
Yeah, we finally got one thing done, and we can focus on the next thing.
We sure did.
Finally, got a thing done.
Yeah.
We can go talk to Prolix now. Or not Prolix, but his friend.
Not a
King.
Yeah.
Yeah, find out about the
Go
ring.
look at the
Yeah.
roster books.
Hmm?
Check. One checkbox. 5 more to go. I'm reading through my flaws here.
Yeah.
What do you get? Oh, traits. Personality traits you get 2.
Yes, those. Yeah.
That's a good suggestion. Let me think about it. I might want to change my flaw a little bit, but yeah, I like that. I like that idea.
I don't see why you have to change it, but if you feel like it's your character, go for it. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that. Let me see what I did on the other thing, D&D Beyond. I clicked random shit for the D&D or for the Roll20 character sheet. I just clicked random, and that's what it came to be. And I might run with it. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a good suggestion. Cool beans. All right, I gotta go.
See ya.
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
goodbye.
Night.
Ooh.
I'm gonna get off as well.
I especially liked the first half of the session when I did absolutely nothing. That was great. More of that, please.
Yeah.
True.
I gotta chill here.
Tom's like, hey, I could have. This was a session you actually could have eaten in peace during the first.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could have got like a giant sandwich or like
Could have
Jimmy
gotten a
John's or something.
burrito. Tom's just eating on cameras. Like, I'm enjoying listening to this roleplay.
Yeah. Yep.
Meanwhile, you just hear like wet lips smacking in the back.
The hell no, I'm muting
We're
myself.
role playing. Oh, that's just the neighbor. He's eating really loud. Eating content.
It's funny.
That's all.
Anthony was doing a thing that I was like really battling myself against doing. I didn't want Ophidas to put a cup against the wall and listen to you guys all the while, and he's doing it in turn. I'm like, all right. No, Ophidas is busy skimming in the night.
I tried to, so like what the original plan was, because like I had talked to him and like when I wrote my plan, it'd be like, oh, he was very adamant on being like, oh, he doesn't want to talk to me because when I brought up overseas or when I was like from the Empire as well or something, he like kind of closed up and did whatever. So, I'm gonna stand at a distance and blah blah blah. And I was like, are you sure you really want to do that? Like, we can always like reintroduce like your character. He's not like 100%.
Disguise Anthony's character as somebody else entirely, and you can be in the same room. Every time the party separates anybody or says anybody or they voluntarily like walk away, I'm like, I don't know, it's weird to me. It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
That's not how the game plays at all. So I try and guide people toward like there are solutions. Yeah, very valid. You're worried about him recognizing you. Sure. I don't know why you're worried about that, but sure, you're worried about that. Yeah, solve it. It's a problem. Work on it then. You have disguise kits. You have all manner of things you can do, right?
I tried to get him to like open up about that. Yeah, I tried to get him to open up about that, to be like, okay, well, he's already seen us all together and everything, so why hide the fact if we're just going to approach him? And he'd be like, well, you could just,
Especially if you're going with the angle
I was
that you
just
were
trying
going
to
with,
yes
yeah.
and.
You were
I
going
was
with the
just
angle
trying
of
to
like,
yes and.
we hide in plain sight. I pretend to be of the Kobold Soul. He pretends to be whatever he is. And I'm like, yeah, okay, great.
Because him and I were like speaking and he was just like, yeah. I was like, well, I guess we could do that. I'll say, yeah, you're across the we didn't know he was staying at the house still, so we thought we might catch him in the open or like where he frequents. And just be like, okay, hey, you see that blood hunter over there? Like, yeah, you're trying to build rapport with him. Like, oh, it seems like he's after you or he's after something. Seeing where the conversation goes. And then trying to do that. He's like, yeah, well, I'll duck into like a back alley or something. You guys can follow me. And I'm just like, sure. And I'm just trying to yes and, but that obviously didn't happen. And I wanted him to be a part of it. That's why before we went in, I was like, do you want to just come into the room? Like, might as well, dude. Just fuck it. Like, he's here. He's trapped in a room. So what?
I don't know.
Or like you said, come over it. But I was like,
you guys had an even better plan. That I was already in chat. And you guys were like trying to be cultists, and somebody was wanting to polymorph himself into a snake. And I was like, that's all very cool. It would have worked way better than the little chaotic improv we did. Versus the whole. That's why I was weird. That's why I was saying I had fun, but I was like, it was a little bit weird. Like, you're not doing the plan you guys discussed, and it was. I really liked it. I was really looking forward to seeing how that develops. But all's well that ends well, and all that matters. Mission complete. I mean, you follow him, find out if he's doing trouble, and apprehend him. You guys finding out all the shit you found out is just like a bonus on top of all of that, right?
Yeah.
Just a good job as expositors. That's what you do. Yup. Good stuff.
Good night, guys. Getting on.
Yeah.
Fun
Okay,
session.
Julian.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye, boy.
Goodbye.